Live at CollectCo? Yes, we do. I've already got that one typed out. You can count them and then put the leftovers in this crate. That's the only 2 crates I have ready.
So after I do this, all this stuff here.
Yeah, we'll do that later, or maybe yeah. So this is all ready to sell. Those 3 are ready to sell. That's all pre-sold.
That's pre-sold.
Those 3 are pre-sold. These 3 are ready. These are ready to sell. And when you have the Def Leopards counted out, I'll take those. Okay. All right. I really don't know what's going on. Wow, we already have comments over here. Let's see what's going on. All right. Sorry, I was just talking to Tanner. Let me go to my groups. Let me go to where we're live. Man, I've just been like, it's incredible. I literally just got off the phone. So I was on the phone with somebody, and I had like 5 other people to call too, and I didn't get around to it. And I'm still trying to send this text message. Let me send this here. All right, now were we live? Man, they've updated the Facebook app and made it difficult. So let me see here. Let's see. Let's go down here to, we need to go to Chad Williams. All right, now let me get this shared. Let's go ahead and share it to a whole lot of records. Also need to share the link. Copy that link. All right, and then I need to comment here with it. All right, let me text it to this guy. And then, so we've done YouTube. Now we just got, or we've done Facebook. We've shared it. Now let me just copy the YouTube link again. Share. All right, now let's copy that over here to our story. And let's go find our logo, our Godfather logo for our story. And wow, I hadn't done this in a few days. This is the longest we went without having sales in quite some time. I didn't know what to do. But we got a lot of ground to make up now. Live now, your story. Okay, so I've shared it to the group. I've pasted it on that post. And I just seen where I was late getting started, and we have, so if we're late getting started, people immediately start going to all of my hot posts and be like, where's the feed? Are we not doing this tonight? Where's Chad? Is he late? And so then I have to go through and I try to comment the link, because at that point people's probably trying to find the feed. But I literally just got off the phone, and this is a very important call, and I had other calls to make in return, but I didn't get to them. And I just hung up the phone, and so it was like 7:07, and we come over here and press the button. It took me 5 minutes to share that. Now we're ready to sell. So tonight's agenda, we're loaded with new stuff. A lot of new vinyl I'm about to show you. We're going to go through, we're going to go through new vinyl. Tanner's printing the sheets because we have a lot of waiting list. We also have a lot of stuff we hadn't priced yet. So I was here earlier today, and just when I'm in the store, Dakota, this is $33.99. When I'm in the store during the day, and I may have seen some of y'all today pick up, it's extremely busy, because if I'm here, we're just doing a lot. And I thought, okay, I'll get started at 5 o'clock pricing this new vinyl that's come in. Oh my gosh, that wasn't nowhere near enough time. That wasn't nowhere near enough time. So I don't have all the new vinyl ready for tonight, but I have a lot of it. I have a lot of it. So, okay. I hope I put the right stuff in the right crate. If not, I'll figure it out when we're selling it live. So, all right. I've got a crate of new vinyl. We're going to get started here. I've been making some posts in the group. Y'all have probably seen some of that. First sale of the night goes to Dakota with Iron Maiden. He saw that in the front of the crate. He says, I need that. He said sold. That sold to him $33.99. Tanner is about to bring me the sheets that just printed. But I can go ahead and show this, which is Smashing Pumpkins Gish. I don't know if we got to show these live yet. They came back in stock. We were sold out. I told everybody we were getting more. Then we took a waiting list. But I have not physically had one in my hand where I could say, this is in stock if you want one. $39.99. Smashing Pumpkins. Their groundbreaking, iconic debut album remastered and reissued in this nice, hard gatefold jacket. It is $39.99. I've got a small handful of them there. There was nobody on a waiting list for that. There was nobody on a wait list for that. Nope, not at all. So that's the deal on that. Lily McCurry wants one. So does Adam Stein. Animals with hype sticker. Sealed, opened, starting bid estimate. Animals is sealed. And we have a sealed copy of Animals. You know, that's in the office. I don't even have that up here yet. But Mark, if you're definitely interested, it'll be something we auction out. I don't think I have the Japanese stuff up here yet, do I? Oh my gosh, I got all kinds of stuff I still got to go get. So, this Rob Zombie album, I think I put in the wrong crate. This belongs to Scott Smith. Yeah, this is Scott Smith's Rob Zombie Sinister Urge. I think it was the only one I got. So Scott Smith, that came in for you. That's on the sheets though, Tanner. I'll just lay it right there. Rob Zombie Sinister Urge. If anybody wants another copy of that, I think I just opened, or I think I just shown or ordered one of them. If I did, I'm not for sure why. But that's a new pressing, kind of a new restock they're putting back into print in stock, whichever term you prefer. That is Rob Zombie, The Sinister Urge. That is $29.99 if anybody wants me to order a copy of that. Okay, so Smashing Pumpkins was first. Then we got the new Now Yearbook. I have 4 of these to sell. I should get a Smashing Pumpkins on Facebook earlier. Were they in? Are you talking about which one, Kevin? There's 2 Smashing Pumpkins albums that recently came in stocks, Gish and Siamese Dream. Let me know which one you need. I am sold out of Siamese Dream. I do have a list. Some people claim that. I can read that one in just a second. But Gish I have on hand and in stock. Eric Beck needs a Rob Zombie Sinister Urge. That will be a waiting list, Rob, but I will have that. And John Lang wants a Smashing Pumpkins. Sell John Lang a Smashing Pumpkins. If it's not Gish and I haven't had one, Smashing Pumpkins. Okay. The only one, we're sold out of Siamese Dream again. We didn't even get to show those tonight, or we won't even get to those because they're all spoken for already. And now there's another wait list. Kevin Jordan says go ahead and add him a Smashing Pumpkins. Okay, so Now Yearbook, we'll go ahead and tag Brent for one. I hadn't got around to the list. There's a pre-order for this. Brent, you may be on that pre-order. Let me check here. Now Yearbook 80 and 84. Conrad Murak, Jerry Stone, Carlene Rollins, George Buchanan, Jerry Pinnock, Mike Massey, David Bosworth, and Shepard Michael. This is a 3LP colored vinyl. The final chapter, Now Yearbook 80 to 84. That's triple LP. You need to get one of these because y'all know the story on them being difficult to get after they go at a price, or maybe not so difficult to get, but more so expensive. Let's see. Brent Rabley on a Gish, and so is Alex Roman. I now have 4 copies left. The Smashing Pumpkins is one of the best-selling artists ever for us on vinyl. I mean, some people, I posted Siamese Dream, and there was pretty much a discussion in the comments. It is incredible how many people want Smashing Pumpkins albums. And it's been that way for years, and they still haven't got caught up with production. And I feel like they press a bunch of them, but that is how many people are wanting Smashing Pumpkins album. Of course, Siamese Dream and Melancholy being the two big ones. This one's probably number 3. And then you have Adore and Pisces. But I hadn't seen those in quite some time. So, Smashing Pumpkins is $39.99. I have Mark Shelton for a Now Yearbook. I've got 2 copies left. Now Yearbook 80 to 84, $49.99. There is a pre-order on that one. Let me read that one more time. Conrad Murrack, Jerry Stone, Carlene Rollins, George Buchanan, Jerry Pinnick, Mike Massey, David Bosworth, and Shepard Michael. Linda Hasty wants a Smashing Pumpkins Gish, and Lily McCurry wants an 80 to 84. That's triple vinyl, and the color of the vinyl, it's colored vinyl, by the way. It's kind of like a gold brownish, kind of matches the cover there. So I have one of those left. This is actually an on-sale import that I offered. The MSRP on this is actually $29.99. We are selling them for $24.99 because it is an import version that one of my distributors has on sale. So not a bad price, especially for Earth, Wind & Fire's greatest hits on yellow colored vinyl. And this has all the good stuff on it. Shining Star and September and all of the good Earth, Wind & Fire songs. There was a bunch of people. When I found out I could get a bunch of these, I posted it. And I thought I ordered a bunch, but I probably still don't have enough. So let me read off the pre-claim list for this, and hopefully I can get more, because I have a feeling they're out. They're OG albums. They should be everywhere. But for some reason, I told John the other day, I was like, people are demanding Earth, Wind & Fire. He's like, I can't find any back here. So it's just incredible. So, all right, here's everybody that we've already got down for one. David Schroeder, Leslie Silvely, Brian White, Michael Potts, Richard Davis, Nick Pullen, Conrad Murrack, Jamie Butler, Bill Toe, Summer Brewington, Chrissy Clark, Stacy Brown, Sherry Darnell, Scott Bodnar, George Buchanan, David Howard, Donnie Moore got 2 of them, Pam Dickens, Robin Walker, and Steve Botsford. So those are the 22 people who's already claimed one or so, and then everybody else here I will pull one as well. Okay, so we have Mark Shelton on Earth, Wind & Fire. There's one to Mark. Walt Cruz on an Earth, Wind & Fire. And we have John Sheehan on an Earth, Wind & Fire. I have ran out at Richard Allen and Jerry Stone. So those will be waiting list if that's okay. And I think there's maybe a couple more I hadn't got to yet. That's everybody who's for sure got one. Those 3 people are getting one tonight. Mark Shelton, Walt Cruz, John Sheehan. Richard Allen, Jerry Stone, y'all were the next 2 comments. That will be a waiting list. Kevin Jordan says, just checked out the Gish post comments. I was 19 if you've already pulled one. Okay, so yeah, that was the Gish probably from last week's stock. So Kevin, you probably already got an invoice, and we already have one though. So if you want 2, I've got you one pulled. If you want to put that one back, just let me know. And then Brent Rabley, 3rd on that waiting list. John Young, I may be interested in that Led Zeppelin album you've got, okay? I may be interested. So Kevin needs to put his Smashing Pumpkins back. Not a problem. We probably got you one for last week. 2 REM albums came back in stock this week. The first one, Out of Time. The Birmingham Collection, Kevin Cave of Rock. We had an original sealed copy of this that we sold for a lot. It's in the hundreds. This is a tough OG to find. It originally came out in what, 1991, I think. REM Out of Time, and it has Losing My Religion on it, which I think is their top streaming song and probably their biggest hit. REM is extremely popular, to say the least. So this is $36.99. REM Out of Time. They're $36.99. Let me read everybody who already has one pulled for tonight. That's Whitney Croy, Cameron Nance, Debbie Blair, Joe Valentine, Brent Rabley, Sherry Darnell, Jennifer Scripter, and John Matthews. So this is a new remastered version, sealed, $36.99. If you want to hold out for an OG, I just know the difficulty yet. I think I've only ever had 1, maybe 2, and all the tens of thousands of records I've bought. So $36.99 for Out of Time. I've got a bunch of those. REM Out of Time. They're Smashing Pumpkins. By the way, down to 4 copies of Gish. 4 copies of Gish for $39.99. Slipknot Iowa, another surprise restock. Man, there's been some good. What I've noticed this month is they're not so much putting out a lot of big new releases. They're pressing and putting out a bunch of big restocks. Very popular stuff that sells for gifts and people's wish list. Slipknot Iowa, I've got 2 left for $36.99. Here's everybody who's already claimed one. Bill Fratsky got 2. Josh Duvall got 2. Brent Rabley got 2. David Gaddis got 2. So it was incredible. The first 4 people who got one were buying them in 2s. I'm seeing a lot of new vinyl sell that way. I have some people who buy stuff in 3s. Slipknot Iowa, so Bill Fratsky, Josh Duvall, Brent Rabley, David Gaddis all got 2. Bob Reiger, Matt Algram, Kevin Jordan, Dwayne Sevilla, Greg Rogers. William Murray got 2. Shauna Markham, Jennifer Stem, and Dustin Chandler. Keith Conseco wants 1, and I have 1 left. Slipknot Iowa. Slipknot Iowa is $36.99. The other REM album is REM Green, $36.99. This has got a new hype sticker on it, kind of a new anniversary edition. It says, cut from the original analog masters. A lot of people wanted REM Green. Where's that list at? Jeff Mack, these, by the way, I've got like 5 of these left. If you want to go ahead and claim one while I'm reading this list, $36.99. That is Jeff McIntosh, Sherry Darnell, Cameron Nance, Tom Ulanowski, Kristen Barnett, John Matthews, Brian White, Corey Wade, Terry Myers, Michael Potts, Whitney Croy, Walt Cruz, Richard Davis, Debbie Blair, Chris Kirkley, Matt Hamilton, Kendall Best, Joe Valentine, Brent Rabley, Jason Fornerat, Preston Rogers, and Jerry Stone. This is the list, and they are $36.99. Tanner, the Slipknot you have for me, I have. And then Josh Duvall wants green. Okay, so there's REM Green. That was next, $36.99. This was a special request for somebody. Eric Fisher, if you're watching, just so you know this is in. Incubus Morning View. That's a 2 LP for Music on Vinyl. $46.99. I have 1, and I can get more. Any special request, I'll usually order at least 1 more, because if 1 person wants it out of our customer base, there's probably at least 1 other. So Incubus Morning View, that was Eric Fisher. I've got 1 left, and it's sold to Craig Proper. I've sold a ton of these in the past. They were actually, it showed out of stock, but when I ordered them, they came in. So $46.99. Michael Harrell's talking about this one. Slipknot, the Subliminal Verses. This is the one Michael Harrell said he already had. I think I've got maybe 1 more of these, but if anybody needs this Slipknot, this is $36.99. Kevin Jordan says, I'll take one of Whitney's Siamese Dream above comment. Whitney said, Chad, if anybody wants to claim the Siamese Dream, I claim the Facebook. I can message you on Facebook if I need to. Yeah, you claim 2 of those. So change one of Whitney Croy's Siamese Dreams to Kevin Jordan. All right. If anybody wants this Incubus, let me know. I've got to order them because Craig got this one. They're $46.99. They'll probably be in. This is our first show of the week. It's kind of weird. It's Thursday. Those will be in first of the week. And Luke Mitchell, if you're okay with that, I'll put you on a waiting list. I think the other one you ordered came in as well. Yeah. I don't have all the new vinyl price for tonight. I got here like 7 hours before the show started today, or actually 6. And I have been doing stuff ever since then. So that's what usually happens. John Sheehan said he'll take this Slipknot. Will you be getting the Spider-Man soundtrack? Yes, we are. But they might not be here until after the first of the week, though. So, first time I bought from was the sealed Pink Floyd Division Bell. That's right. I will bring out that Animals in just a second. Let me finish this bin of new vinyl. We'll get Japanese auction started, which we got some great stuff. OG, we got 5 crates of OG. I've got a whole box of 45s, incredible 45s we got put out, and more new vinyl. So, okay, this was an old album, an old release. There was 1 person on the wait list, and he no longer buys from us. And so it's available. Sex Pistols, Sputnik, the demos, 1976 to 1977. That is $33.99. Can you still order? So yeah, Siamese Dream, I'll show that here in a second and take a waiting list for that. And I'll explain that in just a second, how the Siamese Dreams work, because it's kind of complicated. how that one works. I have to. You never know about the Smashing Pumpkins. So I've got one copy of the Sex Pistols Spunk, not Sputnik. It's a Spunk. Sputnik was the Russian satellite. This is Spunk. The Demos, 1976-77, limited edition pink vinyl. That came out, I think, earlier this year, and then I couldn't get them anymore. And I guess I had one back ordered for him, so it's available. The newest release from Queen this week in their Half-Speed Master Series is News of the World. Queen, News of the World, Half-Speed Master, $33.99. They did a really good job with this one, too. Nice jacket. Half-Speed Master of Queen, News of the World, $33.99. All right, let me go ahead and show Siamese Dream. So I was on our online deal where we get, our distributor's website. I checked our cart, which means they're about to ship me something, and we had 18 of these, and I was like, holy moly, they've pressed another batch of Siamese Dream. So we never know two things on this new vinyl. We never know when they're pressing it or what they're pressing. We never know. It's not like they have a schedule or they tell anybody. So things just pop up and it's just a surprise. So I posted this and I said, I've got 18 copies. They're $99.99. The cheapest one on Discogs was $187, and the last one sold, or maybe the last one sold was $187 for a sealed copy. They're not cheap. They never are. $99.99, and here's everybody who got one. We sold exactly 18 of them. Whitney Croy got one. Jeffrey Butts, Doug Jeppesen, Mark Barbosa, Belinda Daub, Cameron Nance, Eric Beck, Bill Walton, Joe Valentine, Nate Johnson, Jason Fornerat, Matt Stafford, Brandon Dixon, Scott Plants, David Carsquallo. Oh, I really butchered it that time. Kelly McDonald. And those two people were on a waiting list from the last time, which I think was about 6 or 8 months ago. 6 or 8 months ago is probably when David and Kelly was on a waiting list. So once again, the same thing. If anybody wants on the waiting list for this, let me know now. We could get more in next week. It may be another 8 months, but if you for sure want one, regardless of when they come in, next week, next month, or next July, let me know right now. That's Smashing Pumpkin Siamese Dream. It's 2LP. They do really good packaging on all their stuff. Siamese Dream. So Alex or anybody else, if you want on a waiting list whenever they come in, if you want one, and if anybody wants my claim, they can take it. Okay, well, I had you down for 2. I just gave one of them to Kevin Jordan. So, and Whitney says if anybody else wants it, they can have it. So, hey, we got one left if anybody absolutely wants it. Speak now. Creed, My Own Prison, that came back in stock. Creed. Yeah, if Alex Roman wants it, he can have it. If not, Larry Underhill gets it. Creed, My Own Prison. There was 2 people waiting on this. Jeff Johnson and Alex Roman. Jeff Johnson and Alex Roman. There was 2 people waiting on that. So this came out on vinyl 2 weeks ago. First time ever to be such a big album. A multi-platinum album. First time it had ever been pressed on vinyl. And Kraft did it. I opened up a copy the other night. Sounds amazing. Very good rock album. $31.99. So we'll give that one to, we'll scratch Whitney off that one. Alex gets that one. And Larry, you will be numero uno on the Siamese Dream wait list. And I mean, heck, we may have somebody cancel this one on this list. I hope they don't. But if for some reason somebody puts one of those back, you'll be the first one to get one. Kevin Jordan gets a Creed. Clay Moore gets a Creed. And I have one left. My Own Prison. One left. Next is Lana Del Rey. Lust for Life. These are $49.99. I've never had this one. Lana Del Rey. Lust for Life. That is $49.99. Sherry Darnell wants Queen, News of the World. I have one of those left. One goes to Sherry. I've got 2 Lana Del Reys, and we got a random restock. I have these back ordered from multiple distributors, and now all of them are getting them in stock. So I have a bunch of Greta Van Fleet from the Fires, if you don't have one already, $36.99. Chris Crowley, News of the World is $33.99. That's my last copy. And I have Luke Creed is $31.99, My Own Prison. Chris Crowley says he'll take News of the World. And next to last in this bin is Kiss Alive. This is the US version. This is the 2014 remaster. Gatefold, extremely well made. Nice jackets. $44.99 for Kiss Alive. $44.99. I have sold 11 of these. I have 2 left. I had 13. Kiss Alive. Here's everybody who, this is another one I posted in the group. Jamie Butler, John Sheehan, Greg Hagewood, Scott Smith, Robert Campbell, Brent Rabley, Jay Condi, George Buchanan, John Miller, Brenda Medina, and Tracy Yother. Those came in. Jerry Stone says Creed. Is that, let's see. Creed, Luke Mitchell asked the price, and then Jerry Stone. Luke, if you want this last copy, it's yours. If not, it goes to Jerry Stone. Somebody's getting it. And then we have David Tate claiming Kiss Alive, and so is David Hesse. David Tate and David Hesse. Oh, that's Lana Del Rey. They would get very mad if I tagged them for those instead of Kiss. There's Kiss. Big difference. Those are sold. We always sell out of these. Hopefully I can secure some more new copies of Kiss Alive. Always sell. I hope that they do Kiss Alive 2 next. As soon as they come in stock, I'll post that they're available. I won't take a list now because I don't know if they're doing it anytime soon, but you know, OGs of that are always beat up. Very good to have new Kiss albums in your collection, especially if you're a Kiss fan. I don't. Does somebody else need one? Walt Cruz also wants an Use the World. Walt, I will put you on a waiting list for that. And Next Play Records, Andy Mitchell would like on the Siamese Dream waiting list. Last record in this crate is a new release for this week. It's the Ultimate Led Zeppelin Tribute, $38.99, 2LP red vinyl. Eric Bloom from Blue Oyster Cult, Brian Robertson, Thin Lizzy, Joe Lynn Turner from Rainbow, Steve Lukather from Toto, John Wetton from King Crimson, Jack Russell, of course, from Great White. He's on every. Rick Wakeman on here from Yes, Keith Emerson from ELP, and Doane Perry maybe from Jethro Tull. 2LP red vinyl, the Ultimate Led Zeppelin Tribute. And my theory on this is if no one buys it, I'm going to keep it because I always like to see new spins on Led Zeppelin albums. Yeah. When the Levee Breaks. Ramble On, Rick Derringer. Wow. Stairway to Heaven, Dweezil Zapple. Full in the Rain by Rick Wakeman. He must just be doing probably a keyboard cover on that or something. All right, let's go back through that crate one more time. That was a good one. That was some great restocks there. And I have 4 more crates of new vinyl we didn't get pressed or we didn't get priced. So we've got 2 more to show tonight. I've got 2 more entire crates. But that was a good one. That was most of our new restocks. Good stuff. Okay, this goes to Francis Drennan and Sherry and Kenny, if it's okay with y'all. I still want one for myself, so I'm definitely going to be ordering more. So Sherry, I'll put you on a wait list, and Kenny Heathcock. That's sold, though, to Francis. Now, if you're just hopping on, that was our first bin of the night. If you're new, if you see anything you want, let me know. It's a first come, first serve. I'm about to get some auctions started. I've got some cherry pies to show here in a second. I've got OG stuff. I've got 45s, and I've got more new vinyl. I have 4 copies left of Smashing Pumpkins Gish. 4 copies. And then they're all gone until I can get more, which could be next week, next month, next July, next November possibly. They may not ever press it again. You never know about vinyl. They could say, hey, there was some kind of licensing problem. We will no longer be pressing Smashing Pumpkins Gish. Now Yearbook, last copy, 1980 to 1984. When these go out of print, I've sold them as much as $169.99 on Discogs for 1982, I think, and 83. And then I sold 2 other ones. I forgot what years for $140 and $140. They're expensive when they go out of print. A lot of people buy them in the UK. Larry Underhill and Josh Duvall take a Gish and a Gish. And Don Unstad wants on that Led Zeppelin wait list. I'm surprised I didn't sell more of these live. REM Out of Time, I've already read the pre-sale list. But not an easy OG to find. REM Out of Time. That is $36.99. I have several of those. I think I got 10 of them. I ordered 10 extra. Alan Jonathan on Gish. I have one left. Same thing with these REM albums. REM has a large discography from the early mid 80s all the way through the, I guess, 90s and 2000s. They got a lot of albums, and some of them haven't been printed ever or reprinted, repressed, and some of them you can always get. Some of them, like this one, we hadn't seen in quite some time. Last copy of Iowa Slipknot. That's 36. That is the indie exclusive, by the way. That is limited edition translucent 2LP green vinyl. That is the colored vinyl. $36.99. Last copy. Green REM. Again, this is a new 25th anniversary remaster cut from original analog masters. Those are $36.99. And then I've got a couple singles here. Sex Pistols, Spunk, pink vinyl. That's $33.99. Lana Del Rey is $49.99. I have 2 of those. And I have multiples of Greta Van Fleet. This was like a $100 LP sealed, 6 months ago, 8 months ago? I remember when we got in a shipment, I told everybody, I was like, hey, you need to buy these. They're like $100 on Discogs. You can buy one for me and even make some money on it. Right, Tanner? All right, let's see what the first bin of vintage is. I think it's some check condition stuff. I honestly have not even got to go through it. I took a small... I don't like using the word vacation because I tell people I take vacations or I don't take vacations, which if y'all know me well enough, y'all know I really don't take vacations. But my business partner here, Henry, he invited me and my mom down to Biloxi, Mississippi. And so that's where I've been for the last 3 days. And that's probably the only vacation until probably next football season. I don't know. I don't do much traveling days off from work except football. So that was it for me. How much was Gish? $39.99. How much was Greta Van Fleet? $36.99. Gish was $39.99. Greta Van Fleet was $36.99. So yeah, that's why we didn't have sales. I was going to be gone Sunday and Monday, come back Tuesday, and then I realized, heck, that's 9 hours from here. If I left Tuesday morning, I would literally roll into town probably about the time we needed to go live. So we ended up staying an extra night, and then I didn't decide not to have a sale Wednesday. So that's where I was. So Keith Canseco said he'll take a Greta Van Fleet. And Brad Moore, if you decide you want a Gish, let me know. I didn't really check Gish on Discogs. I know a Siamese Dream was pricey, but I don't know about that one. So, especially for sealed copies, but we're back to the normal grind now. Back to vintage. Let me see if I can find our Japanese bin so I can get auctions rolling. Tanner, it may still be in the office. If you want to grab that, I would be very appreciative. It should have a Led Zeppelin House of the Holy in the front. That's the one we're doing tonight. And you should see a sealed copy of Pigs back there, which is Pink Floyd Animals. It has a big hype sticker on the front of it. That was a trade-in from somebody. Actually, they won it in our mystery box. They've kept it, and they've traded it in. Y'all remember when we was doing the mystery boxes? So this is actually the second time I've sold this album. The Who. Who's next? We're going to start with check condition stuff. This is EX, which means it's very close to near mint, which means it probably just has a couple scuffs or a needle drop. Non-feelers. An EX record is very clean. This is an MCA reissue of The Who. Who's next? A classic album. Bob O'Reilly, Bargain, My Wife. Here's some of my favorites. Going Mobile, Getting in Tune. Bargain is probably my favorite song on the album. I like it better than Won't Get Fooled Again. That's $17.99. All right, so we got some killer Japanese stuff here. Let's go ahead and show this. I'll go ahead and put it up right now while the getting's good. So I told Greg, I don't really know. This is a tough one. Determining the year on these is very tricky because it has the JC 3474. Everyone I've always seen on eBay, I don't think original 77 presses came with a hype sticker. I think with all of my research, This is a 1980 pressing, which the album originally came out in 1977. So I will say this though, it is pristine. The corners, extremely nice. And also it has a barcode on it. That's a big giveaway. It's not a 77. So, but this hop sticker, and it has the 34-474 on it. I'm pretty sure this is a 1980 press. And I went by eBay to kind of determine the value. I like it myself. When I gave it away in that mystery box, I kind of didn't want to. It was one of those records I told everybody, if no one buys it, I'll end up keeping it. My favorite Pink Floyd album. It's sealed. I've opened a sealed copy before. I opened a club pressing one time, but this is nice. We need, and I think this is a bargain of a start, we need a $150 start for it. It is a sealed, and I'm going to call it a 1980 pressing of Pink Floyd Animals with hop sticker. No creases, no dings, no corner mashes. It is a really nice copy. $150 start for that. And I think that's a deal at $150. Brian Hummel said he'll take the last Gish. That is sold to Brian Hummel. It is right here. That's my last copy. Now it's a waiting list, which I have them back ordered already. So if more comes in, great. But right now we have no copies left. That's sold to Brian Hummel. The barcode number on Pink Floyd Animals is 07464 344741. That's 07464 344741. Pink Floyd Animals. Mark is instantly at 150. I think he's determined to win this. Greg Brummett said he'll take the Who. Greg was just in our group earlier, and he said, how do I get on the sale? So, Greg, you're a first-time buyer. Now, what you have to do, you don't have to do it right now, but it would be great if you could message our page. That's the Collect Code page. We need a message from you with your email address and your mailing address. That's all you have to do now. We will invoice you on Monday. That's what's critical to know. A lot of people buy something, they hop off. I maybe don't say that, and then they message us looking for an invoice. You won't get one until Monday. The reason is we're having a sale tonight, tomorrow night, and Saturday night. Everything you buy will be combined for $7 shipping. That's sold to Greg. That's only our first record in here. Next is 10 Years After, recorded live. That's EX $24.99. 10 Years After, $24.99. We have The Mothers of Invention, Freak Out. That's a VG Plus copy from 1971, which is probably a repress on this because I think this album came out in, what, 67? Hey, someone even wrote 67 right there. Yeah, I think this came out in 67. So this is a 71 press, VG Plus, $39.99. Elvis, Moody Blue. It's on blue vinyl, $14.99. It's a VG copy. If you ever find this on black vinyl, you've got something special, probably about a $100, $150 album. I've only ever had one. We've probably had 1,000 of these, and that's not an exaggeration. I've only ever found one black, so I guess it's one in every 1,000 is black vinyl. Mark Fallon has Pink Floyd for $150. That's going twice, going 3 times to him. Going twice, going 3 times to him. Next auction is Billy Joel, Cold Spring Harbor. This is his debut album. It's in shrink wrap with the Obi. First of all, it's not an easy album to find. This is a Japanese pressing, and it's absolutely near mint, and it has the insert, and it's really nice. It's a top copy. This is Billy Joel, Cold Spring Harbor. I think that is his debut album. Japanese press with Obi and shrink wrap. We need a $40 start for that. Final call on the Pink Floyd Animals at $150. Final call on the Pink Floyd Animals, $150. Next is The Judds, Rockin' with the Rhythm. That's a VG Plus for $19.99. Steely Dan, Can't Buy a Thrill. This is EX $39.99. It's a 1972 first press. The top seam is split. The top seam is completely split. This is an OG first press though, with the ABC there at the top, and the vinyl is EX. The cover is a VG minus because of the seam split. So desirable. What an album. $39.99. Stereo Elvis was a VG copy for $14.99. Tim Holloway wants the Judds, and Mark Shelton, we're looking for a $40 start on Billy Joel. Mark, congratulations. You're getting the Pink Floyd Animals. It's actually bringing less than I anticipated, but it's sold to you. Sealed albums are tough. A lot of people's like, can I open it? And I'm like, yeah, if you want to. Open it up right here, leave it in shrink wrap. You've got a pristine mint copy. Enjoy it. Or you can collect and say, this is a relic of time. This has been sealed since 1980. You might want to keep it sealed and just look at it and say, what a cool Pink Floyd collectible. It's a sealed copy of Animals, so you can do whatever you want with it now, as soon as you pay me for it. $150. That's sold to Mark Fallon. Next is Don. Don, is he a new buyer or has he bought from us before? Okay, Don's bought from us before. I knew I'd said that name before. Don Unstad with the Frank Zappa. That's sold to Don. Mark Shelton's at $40 on Billy Joel. That's going once, going twice to Mark Shelton. And let me show a few more records and I'll grab our next auction. So there's Steely Dan. Don't think too long about that one. Marshall Tucker Band's Greatest Hits. EX $22.99. He said he had some really nice copies in here that were just like sleeve scuffs or needle drops that really kept it from being a nice copy. So Adam Stein, feed's moving fast. Adam Stein wants Moody Blue for Elvis. That's sold to Adam Stein. Josh Duvall's at $45 on Billy Joel. Alan Johnson wants the price on Steely Dan, $39.99. The top seam is split. The vinyl's very clean from just being, we've graded it EX. It's very nice, and it is a first press. John Young says, please don't open sealed albums. Steve Botsford takes the Marshall Tucker. Elvis Blue Vinyl. It's already sold, but yes, it was on blue vinyl. And Alan, if you don't want Steely Dan, Arm Lizelle does. Josh Duvall's at $45 on Billy Joel. Mark Shelton's at $40. So Mark, let me know if you're in or out. And that's going once, going twice to, who is this? A gold disc of Jeff Beck. I don't think we've ever had this one. This is a Jeff Beck compilation. Alan Johnson does take the Steely Dan. Gold disc, which if we know anything from these Japanese pressings, this is a compilation. Jeff Beck. Let's take a further look at it. I've never seen one on black vinyl. I've only ever had one, like I said. Only ever had one. There's a guy in Monterey, we bought his collection. He hoarded Elvis albums. I mean, he had thousands. Just unbelievable. And Beatles albums. Couple of the rare Beatle albums we've sold recently is stuff I bought from him years ago. But I finally found one. I checked every copy of Moody Blue he had, and that's where I got one. So Jeff Beck is a $35 start. This is called this is just Gold Disc, which is a hits compilation. This is a $35 start. Air Blower, Scatterbrain, Lead Boots, She's a Woman, Sweet Sweet Surrender, Going Down, Superstition, Got the Feeling, Black Cat Moan, Ice Cream Cakes, Blue Wind, Cause We've Ended as Lovers. Jeff Beck is a $35 start. Alan says he's out on Billy Joel, so that's going twice, going three times for $45. I got Roger signed OG Animal copies. Wow, got him to sign one. Wow. Okay, moving on. The Marshall Tucker Band, 10th. I guess that was their 10th album. That's a VG Plus, $19.99. And the Allman Brothers, Brothers and Sisters, VG copy, $24.99. What's the purpose of buying if you're not going to play it? Well, I mean, some records as being sealed is an extremely valuable collectible. They're collectible being open, but some records you have sealed are extremely expensive. I could name some if you ever found sealed. They would be astronomically valuable. As soon as you open them, they would, like John said, greatly decrease. But some cheap albums, if we have a sealed, I don't know, I've told some people, if we have a sealed James Taylor you can pick up for $20 from, the 70s, I think you can open that and you won't lose any sleep over it. But something like if you have some early looking sealed Led Zeppelin 2s that could be a RL press, I don't know. That's like a iffy because you might want to check it. You might want to leave it sealed. So I don't know. That's it's tough. So it's just up to the person. Let's see. Richard Davis is at 35 on Jeff Beck. We have the Beatles 62 to 66. This is a VG Plus 39.99. VG Plus 39.99 has some. That first disc had some markings on it. This one don't look too bad. This is VG Plus 39.99. All right, let's go ahead and sell Cold Spring Harbor, Billy Joel that was Josh Duvall's for $45. Richard Davis now has Jeff Beck for $35. That's going once, going twice. I don't know if we've ever had a Japanese press of this. And I don't know, this Obi, maybe somebody can do some translations for us. This is a $35 start. Joe Walsh, of course, from the Eagles. The Obi says Eagles. Does this translate to Joe Walsh? It says P6562Y. That's the spine. So, of course, I guess he put the Eagles he put the Eagles hype on there. So, pretty interesting. Very nice jacket. This is nothing like the U.S. pressing. Glossy, perfect Obi. That's a $35 start. But seriously, folks, Course has the hit song I've heard a billion times on the radio. Life's been good. There's the Japanese insert, and of course the vinyl is pristine. That is a $35 start for Joe Walsh. But seriously, folks, let me make sure I hadn't missed anything in the feed. Let's see. Okay, I think we're caught up. So Jeff Beck is going twice, going 3 times to Richard for $35 and looking for a $35 start on Joe Walsh. Gordon Lightfoot, Sundown, is a VG Plus $14.99. Johnny Cash Greatest Hits Volume 1, VG Plus $19.99. Johnny Cash Greatest Hits Volume 1, VG Plus $39.99. If I can get that back in the jacket. Dolly, 9 to 5 and Odd Jobs, VG copy $12.99. So I rarely get to be here during the store during hours. While I was here today, 2 women was coming in buying Dolly records for their granddaughters. And I had none in the store. I have no greatest hits left. I had 1 copy of Jolene, but she wanted a greatest hits album. She said Walmart didn't have them. She'd been to Mount Juliet and Target. And I said, well, you have time before Christmas. And I told her they were in stock. I ordered some. She's going to come by. I said, I'm going to order a bunch of them. But it's amazing the demand for Dolly Parton albums right now. So pretty incredible. Dakota Wilkie gets that one. This is a VG copy, $12.99. That's sold to Dakota. Sean, you were second on that. And Sherry Darnell wants Gordon Lightfoot. Let's go ahead and sell Richard Davis to Jeff Beck. Final call on Joe Walsh if anybody wants to get the bid started. That's a $35 start on Joe Walsh. And let me go ahead and grab our next record. Here's something else I've never had a Japanese pressing of. The Righteous Brothers Greatest Hits. I've never had a Greatest Hits of this. What's on the Obi here? I don't know. Looks like maybe a studio or maybe just a house. I don't know. Righteous Brothers Greatest Hits. It says by Phil Spector. Unchained Melody. You've lost that love and feeling. This is a $35 start. This is a $35 start. Righteous Brothers. Alan Parsons Project, Eve, that's a VG Plus $14.99. Blackfoot Strikes is a VG Plus $14.99. Brimstone and Treacle, I think is how you say that. That's the soundtrack to, which features the Police, Sting, the Go-Go's, and Squeeze. That's a VG Plus $19.99. Close to the Edge, yes. VG Plus $14.99, one of my favorites. Chicago 17. EX, that is $9.99. The Birds, Farther Along, VG Plus $19.99. Gordon Lightfoot, excuse me, I was reading a prior comment. Jethro Tull, Living in the Past. Jethro Tull, Living in the Past. That is a VG Plus, and that is the hardcover jacket that comes with that one. There is a reissue cover that's a little bit different. Treacle, thank you, John. This is Brimstone and Treacle. And Josh Duvall takes that. That's sold to Josh Duvall. Next is Klaatu. EX on that one, $17.99. We always sell that album. MC5. This is the censored version. It's a VG minus. It's a 1969 press, but it is censored. $29.99 MC5. Just kind of difficult to find a uncensored in good shape. Where he says, kick out the jams, blankety blank. The Essential Little Richard, 20 of his greatest hits. This is actually on the specialty label, so this should be all the OG stuff. Tutti Frutti, Long Tall Sally, Rip It Up, Lucille. That is $27.99. $27.99. The Essential Little Richard. And we have Bruce Springsteen, Darkness on the Edge of Town. VG plus $14.99. Sticks, Pieces of 8. VG plus $14.99. Eagles on the Border. EX $32.99. And Brer Rabbit is VG plus $34.99. Walt Disney Songs and Stories of Uncle Remus. And Bob Dylan, Nude Morning, is a VG plus $24.99. All right, if anybody wants to buy Joe Walsh, it's now a first come, first serve. Speak now. It's a $35 buy it now. Same thing for the Righteous Brothers. If anybody wants those, you can claim them now. I kind of have a feeling they're going to sell. $35 buy it nows on those. 35. There was 3 people waiting. Timothy Jernigan got it, and same thing for the Righteous Brothers. If anybody wants that, $35 start. So before that, though, Sherry Darnell got the Birds. Sherry Darnell got the Birds. That is, so does Sherry. Timothy Jernigan got Joe Walsh. If anybody's watching for the first time, so the way we do our auctions is I put them up for bid. If they don't get a bid, then I open it up. You got to wait for me to do it. I'm like, okay, now it's a first come, first serve. You can buy it for my opening bid. Some people wait that, so maybe they don't have to pay more and get caught up in an auction, but you can also miss out on it. So the way to for sure get one is to bid. Maybe no one bids against you. Maybe you get your bid in first, and everybody's like, well, I want to bid, but I'm not paying more than $35. Or, you know, you might want to pay $50, and so you bid on it until you pay whatever you want to pay. So Timothy got that one. Steve was next, and then Brandon Jackson was third. Stephanie gets the Righteous Brothers for $35, and Greg Rogers was first to the Brer Rabbit. That is sold to Greg Rogers. Peter, you were second. Bob, the Little Richard is EX on the vinyl. The cover, it's okay, VG plus. It has a scuff right there. It's EX. I think you've bought enough records from us to know what to expect. It's going to have scuffs. Maybe not any, but it has more than we allow for a near mint record. So, and Stereo Klaatu was $17.99. There's a lot of EX stuff in here, which just means non-audible scuffs or maybe marks that, you know, yeah, like this one. It's just got a couple just scuffs on it. You know, nothing you can feel. Nothing's going to skip or anything like that. Bob Riger said sold on Little Richard. All right, so let's go back through that crate one more time. We've got 10 Years After. That was EX $24.99. Marshall Tucker Band was VG plus $9.99. Allman Brothers, VG plus $24.99. The Beatles was VG plus $39.99. Johnny Cash, Greatest Hits, VG plus $19.99. Alan Parsons, VG plus $14.99. Blackfoot. This one has Train, which is awesome when that thing comes on. VG plus $14.99. Yes is VG plus $14.99. Chicago, EX $9.99. Klaatu is EX $17.99. Jethro Tull, VG plus $24.99. Brandon Jackson wants Blackfoot. I'm surprised I didn't sell the first go around. MC5 was $29. That is an VG minus. That's the lowest grade we'll probably put out unless it's something extremely rare. Bruce Springsteen was VG plus $14.99. Sticks was VG plus $14.99. Eagles on the Border, EX $32.99. And Bob Dylan, New Morning, VG plus $24.99. Let me show y'all a few 45s. So John worked since I was out of town. When I'm actually out of town, traveling, buying records, or just when I'm just not here, he usually works on 45s because we have to put out so many. We have to put out so many albums to keep up with the demand y'all request. You know, six shows a week, every night. We got to price a bunch of albums. So He rarely works on 45s, and we have thousands, probably tens of thousands in tubs and boxes. You know, every collection we buy, it has 45s, and sometimes we don't even mention them because we really just sell albums. But we know 45s, John collects them, I collect them. So here's one of the rarest ones we found today. This is the Temp Tones, or the Temp Tones. It's on the Arctic label. It's a VG Plus. It's $1,499.99. Girl, I love you, and goodbye. That's a rare record. And then we also have, there's only one active of this on Discogs. A guy in Greece has it listed for $8,000, which is way too much. This is Dan Nix and the Teen Sounds, Long Lonely Miles on Crash Records. That's a VG Plus. It's garage rock. It's 2,000. That's 2,000. Those are two pretty killer records we found today. So we literally discover stuff like this in our back room. I have no idea where I bought these, where they came from, when I got them. It could have been 5 years ago. It could have been in a collection earlier this year. I have no idea. So I'm not going to go through all these, but this is all the weird stuff. Everything in here is, I think, more than $100. But it's probably people you've never heard of and I've never heard of. Jimmy Lewis, Life, Shad Guy Douglas, Rodney Faust, Silk and Sand, Flowers, you know, just a lot of really obscure, rare stuff. Those will be going on our Discogs tonight. I may post them in our group as soon as I get them on there, just in case somebody in our group wants them, so I don't have to pay Discogs fees. But that is some really killer stuff. If you or anybody know collect rare soul garage 45s, that's some killer stuff. So that one that's a couple thousand, I think it might bring more if I put it on an eBay auction. Discogs, the bad thing about Discogs is you can't auction stuff. And I've told people before, when you have something rare, there's a good chance you might want to auction it because you don't know what to price it for. And there may be one guy willing to pay $5,000 and one guy willing to pay $2,000. So probably a lot of those may go on eBay first. So, all right, let's go. Here's our other new vinyl for tonight. We got a restock of Toby Keith, Should Have Been a Cowboy. I've got 2 more copies in. I didn't have a waiting list for this, but we did sell out of it last week. 25th anniversary, Should Have Been a Cowboy, $28.99, remastered. I've got 2 of these left. I've got 2 of those available, and I only have 1 of these left. Bill Withers, his Ultimate Collection, and that's on blue vinyl. Toby Keith sold to Kenny Heathcock and Jerry Wallace. That's sold and sold. Let's make a note. I need to order more Toby Keith. Bill Withers, we sold a bunch of these. This is another import that was on sale. So it's on sale for me. It's on sale for y'all. Colored vinyl, $26.99. Bill Withers. We have one for Rich Recor. We have one for Jerry Pennick, one for Richard Bedford, one for Sherry Darnell, one for Conrad Murak, and one for Shauna Markham. That's everybody that's already claimed one. I have one left. That's essentially his greatest hits. Let me read you the big hits. Ain't No Sunshine, Lovely Day, Lean on Me, Harlem, Use Me, Sweet Wyoming is one of my favorites. Grandma's Hands, that is $26.99. You missed Hendry's comment. Hendry's comment. I replied to Debbie to buy Blackfoot, so Brandon got it. Hendry wanted Blackfoot. He replied, Hendry replied to Debbie, I like that Blackfoot, please. I think he meant, I didn't see that because you were replying to Debbie. You're right. I'd like that Blackfoot, please. So actually he was before you, Brandon. I'm just now seeing that. I thought you were just telling Debbie you like Blackfoot. But I think you were claiming it. Is that right? If so, Brandon was second. Okay, and Steve Botsford takes the last Bill Withers. Charlie, the Klaatu was Klaatu self-titled. I'll show it to you right quick. It's EX 1799. Where are you, Klaatu? Klaatu is EX 1799. All right, so we need to change that. Sorry, Brandon. He was technically just ahead of you, so that goes to him. Robert Plant and Allison Krauss, Raising Sand, $44.99. I have 2 copies left. This is Raising Sand and Robert Plant. This is $44.99. I've got Sherry Darnell for 1. I've got Debbie Blair for 1. Jesse Hood for 1. And Greg Rogers for 1. That is Raising Sand, Robert Plant, Allison Krauss. We will definitely put you on a wait list, Toby or Randy, for Toby Keith. I actually have 1 of these left. My bad. I only have 1. Charlie DeFrank wants Klaatu. And yes, the Rolling Stones picture sleeve sold for $22,400. That's a rare record. Charlie DeFrank wants Klaatu. Michael Bohannon wants the Plant and Krauss. If anybody else wants this, that was a waiting list from last time. I thought I ordered 2, but I guess I only got, or maybe somebody. Yeah, I had 5. I had 3 people. I think Greg commented late, and I'm not for sure though. So this is $44.99. Raising Sand. That sold to Michael Bohannon. We're going to put a Robin Walker on the Toby Keith waiting list. And next, I didn't realize I was out of stock of these until somebody asked for it. The White Stripes Greatest Hits, $36.99. White Stripes Greatest Hits, that is $36.99. Jesse says, I have the Plant and Krauss. Can you put it back? We can. So actually, I have 1 available. I now have 1 available if anybody else wants one. If Jesse's putting his back. The White Stripes Greatest Hits, $36.99. And I have Rob Zombie, Hellbilly Deluxe. If you missed this last week, I looked over here in the bin, and the 2 copies we had here in the store, or the 4 copies we had here in the store, I'm down to 1 copy. I knew it would sell well. That's why I ordered 5 more. Rob Zombie, Hellbilly Deluxe, $39.99. Give the 1 Jesse's putting back to Frances Drennan. She said she'll take it. Here's a surprise restock for Mobile Fidelity. I only had 10. I had 10 ordered, and I only got 1. I didn't even know this was still in print. Men at Work, Business as Usual. This is the MoFi pressing, $49.99. Numbered on the back. This is number 2,129. $49.99 for Men at Work, Business as Usual. Like I said, I didn't even know that was still in print. But I had it back ordered. $49.99 for that. Electric Mud, Muddy Waters. This is $39.99. Electric Mud, Muddy Waters. 180 gram limited edition colored white vinyl. Colored white vinyl. That is $39.99. What's that noise? Sounds like fighter jets are flying over the store. Rob Scheffler. Rob Scheffler gets the Men at Work. Is that the second one of Plant and Krauss? No, that is their first album. The other one, Raising the Roof, I don't have right now. Kuda Bryan, you were second on Men at Work. Jerry Stone was third. Josh Duvall was fourth. And Rob Scheffler, I have you down for it. So you were first on that. We can take those names down for a waiting list. Bryan, Stone, Duvall. We may be getting more. So if y'all are okay with that. Huge restock for this week. When I saw this, I had 50 copies ordered. I was like, holy moly. That's usually what I say when I see Smashing Pumpkins, or when I see Def Leppard albums or Rush albums back and ready, they've pressed them and they're ready to ship. I go, holy moly. Def Leppard Hysteria, $39.99. Let me read everybody who went ahead and claimed one of those. Def Leppard Hysteria, Bill Fratsky, Jeff McIntosh, Whitney Croy, Dakota Wilkie, Jamie Butler, Mike Massey, Stacy Brown, John Sheehan, Jerry Stone, Conrad Murrack, Rob Scheffler, Randy Scarborough, Susan Bell, Eric Beck, Tim Holloway, Jay Condi, Matt Stafford, David Tate, Paul Brothers, and Tillman Smoot. Kuda Bryan says waiting list. Jerry Stone says waiting list. If Josh Duvall wants on that, he's on it. Yeah. Def Leppard Hysteria, $39.99. It's been months for such a huge album. This is a 2LP gatefold, $39.99. It says made in Germany. So, man, I mean, just, it's a daily thing. People asking about this, especially here in the store. I've got like 7 of them left. I think we had 50, maybe that was 30. Those are 23 names. So there's one for Steve Howe. There's one for Patty Anderson Williams. There's one for Brandon Jackson. And that's what I have left right there. I've got 4 copies left of Def Leppard Hysteria. Great packaging. From what I understand, great sound. Hendry says he wants one as well. And I now have 3 left. Okay, here's what's left in that crate. Not much. Not much at all. I'm about to condense it with the other one. Charlie, you did get Klaatu, and it was $17.99. Here's what's left. I got 1 copy left of the White Stripes Greatest Hits for $36.99. I've got 5 copies left of Rob Zombie Hellbelly Deluxe. And I have 1 Muddy Waters Electric Mud. That's limited edition white vinyl. Pete W. wants a Hysteria. And I have 2 copies left of Def Leppard's Hysteria. I knew I'd sell a lot of those. OGs of that are they're not too difficult to find, but we just never have them. I mean, if we get an original copy of Hysteria, I think y'all know it's like, it's fought after. I mean, literally, we could say, come fight for it. Especially if it's in good shape. Greg Preston takes 1. I have 1 left. Oh, and by the way, this price, that's why I told everybody we have, I think I said I had 30 available or 50 available. From the last time I ordered this 8 months ago or 9 months ago, now there's almost a $9 price increase per unit. So that means if I ever get more of these in, they'll be $49.99. Luckily, when I back order stuff, regardless of whenever they come in, they kind of guarantee that old price you order them at. So yeah, there was almost a $9 price increase on this from 8 months ago. So, because when I seen that, I was like, wow, those aren't too expensive. And then I looked at the new cost, and they went up almost $9. It was 8 something. So if I do get more of these in, the next shipment of these, they'll be $49.99. They'll be $49.99. Or 40, I don't know, I might could do 48 or something. It'd be tight. But that's just me increasing their, because of their price. So. Okay. Let's show those, because he may want one for that price. Boy, this is a good bin. It's another bin of check condition, but we're going to show it next. There are some awesome records in here. I'm about to bring it over right now. Yeah, this bin. Oh, wow. Yeah, this bin here, this is going to have some great sellers. And we're about to get our Japanese stuff started back. So, Grant, you were after Josh, and Tanner says we've got these up here. Here's our last 3 copies, and they have corner dings. It's got a crease right here, and they got dings. Yeah, and then back down here at the bottom, it's not as bad, a light crease. So Grant, I can give you the best looking one, which is probably that one. And then anybody else, I got 3 left with corner dings, same price. They're the same price, $39.99. So I do have 3 more, but they're dinged. Grant, you would get the best one out of that. And then if anybody else, that makes my last 3. He says he'll pass. 3 of those left with light corner dings, $39.99. Let's get our next Japanese auctions. Let me read you some titles. I got Led Zeppelin, Prince, Bob Dylan, Marshall Tucker, The Beatles, Rat, Wham, 38 Special, Blues Brothers, Clapton, Earth, Wind and Fire. Who is this? The Bee Gees, maybe? I've never seen that before. Ozzy. These are all Japanese presses. Nina, Duran Duran, Phil Collins, Elvis, Whitney Houston, Stray Cats, Toto, Creedence Clearwater, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Willie Nelson, Eagles, Elton John, The Beatles, Jeff Beck, Bruce Springsteen, Huey Lewis, Heart, Rock of Ages, Queen, Aerosmith, Toto, and John Mayall featuring Eric Clapton. Let me pull a couple I have never seen before. And that is Stray Cats and this one right here. I will pass, thanks though. Thank you for letting me know. Dakota says, which rat? Invasion of your privacy. Brad Moore says, camera's not centered. That's because I had just put up a new crate and I hadn't moved the camera back. Ozzy is Ultimate Sin. Elvis was a Japanese compilation. I've pulled these first. Let me go ahead and show them. And then if anybody, I'll do Rat and I'll show Ozzy and I'll do Elvis in that order. This is a, let me figure out. I've never seen this cover. Of course, I've seen this quite often. Is this like the Blues Breakers? John Mayall Primal Solos. John Mayall featuring Eric Clapton. Primal Solos. That's pretty cool. That looks like my SG. I don't have an old one, but I have one I bought like that at an auction. There's the insert, and this is on the London Primal Solos, John Mayall. This is a pristine Japanese pressing. $35 start for the John Mayall featuring Eric Clapton Japanese press. $35 start on that. First time we've ever offered that one, and the first time I've ever offered this one, which is also a $35 start, and that's the Stray Cats. There's the original inner sleeve. There's the Japanese insert. Somebody's highlighted a few things on there. And the vinyl is what you expect, near mint Japanese pressing. Near mint Japanese pressing. Stray Cats, self-titled. First time I've ever offered that one too with an Obi, as an Obi. $35 starts for Clapton and Stray Cats. We'll run Ozzy. Duran Duran was 7 in the Ragged Tiger. More vintage, check condition. Okay, I'll tell you the title, the grade, the price. The Best of Tim Hardin, VG Plus $14.99. This is on that Gold Verve Forecast label. Best of Tim Hardin, VG Plus $14.99. Honky Tonk Stardust Cowboy, Jonathan Edwards, VG Plus $14.99. Jonathan Edwards, Honky Tonk Stardust Cowboy. There's one of these albums by him I really like. This may be it. Just very interesting music. $14.99. The Dean Martin Christmas album. Covers in shrink wrap. Vinyl is VG Plus. $7.99. Somebody's going to want that. The Kinks, You Really Got Me, is a VG Plus. $34.99. 1964 Terre Haute First Press. Terre Haute First Press. Wow, there it is. Tricolor Steamboat. It's a VG Plus on the vinyl. VG Plus isn't a bad grade to settle for on this album. I don't know if y'all realize the difficulty of finding a near mint Kinks You Really Got Me. It's, I would say, extremely difficult to find a VG Plus or to find a near mint one. Josh Duvall was first of the Dean Martin Christmas album. Kathy was second. Tony's at 35 on John Mayall, going twice, going 3 times. Looking for a $35 start on Stray Cats. John Young takes the Kinks. Does the Duran Duran come with a calendar? I have not checked it yet. Steely Dan, this is a Canadian pressing. VG $14.99. Yeah, this is a very... Have you ever seen a Steely Dan cover? This is from Atlanta. He had like 5 copies of this. They were all different. I've never seen one with the vinyl in the flip like that. I thought this was a lot better than VG. Oh yeah, he said this had 1 feeler. It looks so nice. It has 1 feeler on it, which will probably pop whenever it goes over that. So that is a Canadian press, which I think it's an OG Canadian press, 1972, $14.99. I've never seen one that flipped open like that. Stray Cats, 35. Mark Shelton's at 37 on Mayall. So Josh Duvall has Stray Cats going twice, going 3 times. Tony, you're out on Mayall. Mark's in at 37. Aram Lazelle gets Steely Dan. Joni Mitchell Blue. This is a VG Plus $24.99. OG label, VG Plus vinyl. A classic. This cover, it looks a lot better when you take it out of that 4mm sleeve, but this cover already looks a little, it's always dark looking, so even if you find one mint, it doesn't look like it's in the best of shape, but a lot of it's just how it was made. So Josh Duvall gets Joni Mitchell Blue. Josh also wants Stardust Cowboy. This is such an interesting, I like this. I don't know if anybody else has ever listened to that, but of course I discovered Jonathan Edwards when I found, listened to Sunshine. Then I started listening to his other stuff. I enjoy it. Tony Murphy's at 40 on John Mayall. Final call on the Stray Cats. Styx, Crystal Ball. This is a VG Plus $14.99. VG Plus $14.99. So a VG Plus record is going to have, it's probably going to have some scuffs, some marks. It's going to have some light noise when you listen to it. Noise, light noise, whatever you want to call it. It's not going to have any feelers, or I think we kind of say if it has a feeler, it automatically goes to VG, which means probably when it hits that, it's going to pop. So Claymore gets sticks. Tony's at 40 on Mayall and Mark's out. Final call on that, and final call on Stray Cats. Ted Nugent, free for all, is a VG plus $9.99. Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, and Jones, that is a VG copy, $9.99. That's a Rhino reissue. Pisces, Aquarius. High-end bin. You missed it the other night. It took us like 2 hours. We went through all 5 high-end bins. Where were you, Brandon? You missed it. Mike takes Ted Nugent. Mike Golston. Is he a first-time buyer, Tanner? Okay. Mike, I think you may be a first-time buyer with us. He's already said he is. Okay. Let me send you some instructions. First, if you have Facebook, you can simplify a lot of things by messaging us on Facebook. If you don't have a Facebook, we will send you the email address, and we will give you instructions. But let me know if you have a Facebook account. First of all, let's go ahead and end these. We've got Tony Murphy getting the John Mayall for 40, and Josh Duvall getting the Stray Cats for 35. Those are sold and sold. I got Facebook. Okay, so if you can message us on Facebook with your email address and your mailing address, the reason we say Facebook is that's where most of our customers are, and that's where we do all of our invoicing from. If for some reason somebody doesn't have Facebook, which we have now a lot of customers who buy from us who don't have Facebook, we send you the invoice via email. But it's just so much easier for us the way our message threads work, and the way, all of us are admins and we can see everybody's messages to do it through that. Okay, somebody requested Ozzy, and I think maybe Elvis or Rat. The heavy hitters for sure, probably out of the bin. Well, this Beatles White Album's nice. Let me do Ozzy, and where's that Elvis at? Hey, there's that Eagles Greatest Hits. I had somebody in the store earlier looking for that. Volume 1. It's a Japanese press, but... Okay, let's see what's in Ultimate Sin, because this originally came with inserts. Let's see here. The cover has some paint on it right here. See this? Looks like somebody decided to paint one day when they were listening to Ultimate Sin. And it looks like there was some paint on the cover, but it got smeared off. You really can't tell it on the front till you get right there in the black shadow and the Aussie Z's. But there's some paint smeared right here. So there's paint on the cover. Unfortunate, but that's you can't complain about this album because we hardly ever get it in. I'll be glad when they put this in print. Because everybody needs it and they're not cheap. There's the Japanese insert. Looks like it has some paint on it right there. Really picking this one apart because it's such a pricier album. And the vinyl on this, though, don't worry. This is absolutely pristine. Luckily, their turntable had a dust cover on it, I guess, when they were listening to it. This looks like it's unplayed. Typical Japanese near mint quality. So it does have the inner sleeve, no stickers. It does have some paint on the cover, unfortunately. It's not too noticeable. No damage to the obi. But right there on the back is about the only major flaw this thing has. And we need I think the last one I put up was, we called it EX or VG Plus, and I said an $85 start. I think this one's just as nice, especially the vinyl's nicer. And it does have some of that paint on it. $85 start for the Ultimate Sin. $85 start. Chad, I know you're going to do a big Christmas. Yeah, well, we were talking about that earlier. I said, I got to figure out, one, I've got to plan our employee Christmas party here. And then second of all, I've got to plan our Christmas giveaway for y'all, because we always do some big giveaways around Christmas time. So yes, I've got to plan that. Elvis 24, Elvis Special 24. This is a 2LP. Elvis Special 24. Has a booklet with it with lyrics and songs. song lyrics, I guess would be the best way to describe that. It is very nice with Obi. It's a 24-hit compilation, 2LP Japanese press, and that is a $45 start. $45 start. Elvis Special 24. That's a 24-hit compilation. $45 start on that, and $85 on Ozzy Ultimate Sin. Just so y'all know, for pristine copies with stickers, we've sold them for as much as $175 before. And if we had a U.S. pressing right now, in near mint condition, I feel like it would bring north of 100. So don't let the paint take away from what you have here, especially with the condition of the vinyl. Chet Atkins in Hollywood is a VG Plus, $7.99. Neil Young Harvest is a VG copy, $14.99. Has some damage across the top here. VG copy of Harvest, $14.99. Brewer and Shipley down in L.A. Does this one have... I still haven't found the album with One Toke Over the Line. That is EX, $14.99. John Young wants Chet Atkins. Sell that to John Young. Robin Trower, Victims of the Fury, is EX, $17.99. Missing Persons is VG Plus, $14.99. Neil Young, After the Gold Rush, VG Plus, $24.99. Vanilla Fudge, Near the Beginning, EX, $17.99. The Ohio Express, Beg, Borrow, and Steal, VG Plus, $16.99. This is Popcorn Blizzard, I think. Yeah, I'm just trying to translate the psychedelic-looking letterings there. Oh, let me go ahead and show that in case someone accidentally seen it. Kiss Alive 2 is a VG Plus, $29.99. Popcorn Blizzard is a VG Plus, $74.99. It's a 1970 white label promo. 1970 white label promo. Delight Records. Okay, next was, so we got Chet Atkins, Wolf Council on MP, Missing Persons, Wolf's Council. Greg Brummett wants After the Gold Rush, Neil Young. That goes to Greg. Does Kiss Alive 2 have inserts? That's a great question. We have a Kiss Alive 2 here. Let's get it all out. I'm going to pull out everything that I see. And okay, everything is out, and it has 2 inner sleeves. That's the only kind of extras with it. 2 inner sleeves. Kiss Alive 2. Alan, that's yours if you want it. If not, it goes to Steve Botsford. Tarkio. Okay, we always have that album. I didn't think it was on there, so I'll have to start mentioning that next time we show that. Alan passes, so this goes to Steve Botsford. Final call on these 2 auctions if you want to get in your bid. If not, we're going to end them and make them a bite now. Popcorn Blizzard. We have James Brown, Soul Brother. Wow, this is in shrink wrap. The vinyl is VG. This is $19.99. Soul Brother #1, James Brown. Let me see if that's the actual. Yeah, it's a man's world. Soul Brother #1, James Brown. That's a VG copy, $14.99. Covers in shrink wrap. Very nice. $14.99. Is the Beatles' White Album numbered? Yes, it's a Japanese press that is numbered. I can't believe you missed the high-end clean-out, Brandon. Josh Duvall takes James Brown. His albums are not easy to find in pretty much any condition. Wolves Council, you were second. The Supremes, We Remember Sam Cooke. VG copy, $9.99. I don't know if I've ever seen that one. We Remember Sam Cooke. James Brown, 2 million sellers. Papa's Got a Brand New Bag. That is a VG Plus, $29.99. James Brown, 2 million sellers. That's on the Black King. It unfortunately has David Asian's name written on the front cover, but that is a VG Plus, $29.99. Okay, I need to put up new auctions because I have an entire crate to go through. If anybody wants Elvis, it's $45. If anybody wants Ozzy, it's $85. Elvis is a special 24, which is a 24-hit compilation, Japanese press. You can buy it now for $45. If anybody wants Ozzy, it's a buy it now for $85. Josh Duvall was first on Ozzy. Edward, you were second. Ozzy was $85. Josh was first to that. Ed was second. Probably wait till midnight. No, the other night, we did this one early. Like, we went straight to it, and everything was buy it now, best offer. You missed it. I had autographed Dolly albums for $5 a piece. Elvis is $45 if anybody wants that. That's a nice compilation, 2 LP. It's got the book with it. Not bad. All right, somebody, Brandon just did. Brandon asked about the White Album, and I know lots of people are curious about Rat. So let me put this up. Let me show a couple more records, though. Well, another James Brown. Get up off of that thing. I can't say it as well as he can. This is a white label promo, EX 39.99. I don't know if I've ever had this one. I know I haven't. Wow, that's a cool white label promo. His Polydor, they put his face on a lot of those labels. That's $39.99. Get up off of that thing. I hate these sleeves when this happens. Just going to put that behind the jacket. Need to put that in a new inner sleeve if we want to set that one aside. I'm just going to put it behind the jacket, though. That's so to Josh Duvall. 35 on Elvis. I don't want to do that right now. Yeah, let me wait on that. We can talk about that a little bit later. Everything, all the Japanese are starting bid, or you can buy it now. Okay, the White Album. Let's see what we have here. We've put EX on the vinyl. So let's take a look here. Why it's EX. Side 1 looks pristine. Side 2 looks pristine. So it must be some kind of very small, minute mark on sides 3 or 4. I don't see anything there, and I don't see anything here. I don't know why that's EX. So the White Album, of course, is 2 LPs. There's the lyrics / poster. The lyrics were on a poster. US was the same way. There's the inner sleeves. All the Japanese pressings came with black inner sleeves. That's what I've seen so far. At least most of the ones in these Apple and the Flag series. Embossed Beatles, and it is serial number A195332. Does it have any photos with it? No photos. No photo inserts. So how did they do the serial numbers? Was that the serial number for Japan? I don't know. I've always wondered that. I can get this started for a $65 start. $65 start. 2 LP, has the poster, Obi, really nice cover. It's got one little stray mark here, one little stray mark here. Has the Obi. That's a $65 start. Next is Rat, Invasion of Your Privacy. I think this is the 5th we've sold in the last 2 months. $65 start. I think we had one bring 80 something. The other ones have brought 65. This one's 65. Mint cover with Obi. The Obi has one little punch hole through it right there. That's a $65 start. There's the Rat insert. There's the other Rat insert, and the vinyl is EX. And let me see why this is EX. I see a scuff right here. And side 2 is pristine. One light, it's one of those you have to turn the light to see it. And that is a $65 start for Rat. So we got White Album and Rat at $65. All right, there's been some great records in this bin. And we got some great Japanese stuff for tonight. Okay, next is Steely Dan, Pretzel Logic. That's a VG Plus $34.99. Do you have Rat Detonator? No, I don't. That is a very difficult album to get. James Brown is a VG Plus $29.99. Papa's got a brand new bag. Rat Detonator has never been reissued like most of the Rat catalog. They've never been repressed, and originals are minimum $150 or so. Vinyl grade on white. We've called it EX, but it was like pristine. I mean, It must be something very minute on that. Brent Rabley takes James Brown. That's sold to Brent Rabley. Three Dog Night. 7 separate fulls. It has all 7 of the playing cards. That is EX $34.99. Blind Faith is a VG copy for $19.99. A VG copy. What a great album. VG copy. I like this cover better than the original. The Grassroots Feelings is a VG plus $14.99. Captain Beefheart and the Magic Band. Lick My Decals Off, Baby. This is a VG copy, $19.99. Slow Hand, Eric Clapton, is a VG copy, $14.99. And The Pretenders, Learning to Crawl. That's a VG plus, $14.99. The Pretenders, Learning to Crawl, VG plus. The White Album's at $80. Wayne Titsworth takes The Grassroots. Randy Scarborough on Blind Faith. Debbie Blair on Three Dog Night. Tom Ulanowski on Captain Beefheart. Greg, you were second on Blind Faith. And Marshall Bassett, you were first on Steely Dan, Pretzel Logic. So, Greg, you're the only one that didn't get a new claim there. You were second to Blind Faith. Wayne got Grassroots. Randy got Blind Faith. Debbie got Three Dog Night. Tom got Captain Beefheart. Marshall got Steely Dan. Greg, you were second to Blind Faith. Pink Floyd, A Nice Pair. That's a VG copy for $29.99. We have, what is this? Gandharva, The Celestial Musician, a musical soundtrack for a non-existent film. Beaver and Krause, maybe? Krause, C-R-A-U-S-E. EX $24.99, Gandharva. Okay, the White Album is at $80 for Brandon Sanders. That's going once, going twice. Rat, we're still looking for a $65 start. The Guess Who, Wild One. This is a Pickwick pressing. VG plus $9.99 for the Guess Who, Wild One. The Who, Live at Leeds. EX $44.99. 1970 pressing original with all 12 document inserts. $44.99. EX on the vinyl. So this has all of the original inserts, including the one that's usually missing, which is the Who Maximum R&B poster. That's nice, complete with all inserts. Greg Brummett, first of that one. Adam Stein was second. John says Beaver and Krause are the electronic composers who helped George Harrison do Electric Sound. There you go. So it's Beatles related. It's Beatles related. That means somebody has to want it. I've bought Beatles collections before, and it's like they got all the Mary Hopkin and Billy Preston albums, and they got all the, who else? Anything Pete Best may have put out, and Julian Lennon, and, Mike, Paul's brother. Is Seth here? What's he doing here? Elvis back in Memphis. This is $39.99. EX 1970 orange label. Elvis back in Memphis. EX $39.99. OG orange label. We have Steve Winwood, Talking Back to the Night. EX $17.99. And King Crimson. This is a 1974 press. VG $24.99. Let me make sure no one signed it. If they have, I get to retract it. This one's not signed. This is a 1974 press, though. It doesn't look like it. It's got an 1841 Broadway, a 4-digit number, but John says it's 74. That's a VG copy, $24.99. Tom Dearlove, you were third on Live at Leeds. And let me put this back in its sleeve. King Crimson. And King Crimson Lizard, right? Yeah, King Crimson Lizard is a VG plus, $34.99. This is a 1970 Presswell. 70 Presswell, and this should be the original. This album originally came out in 70. All right, Arm Lazelle was first to, what was the Japanese Aerosmith? It was Night in the Ruts. Night in the Ruts. Let's see, Arm Lazelle put PF. Was that for Pink Floyd? Was that for Pink Floyd, Arm Lazelle? And then Greg Rogers, I've got you for King Crimson. Let me know if that's for In the Court or if that's for Lizard. And then Stereo, go ahead and let me know which one you wanted as well. The Beatles White Album is sold to Brandon Sanders for $80. That's sold to Brandon for $80. Don't tell his wife. And then Rat, if anybody wants that, $65 buy it now. Invasion of Your Privacy. Does this one have Lay It Down on it? It does. This one has Lay It Down on it. What an amazing song. I just watched a reaction video to that. They got excited listening to it. I was like, first of all, how have you gone your whole life and not heard that? But it's amazing, though. That's why I watch those. It's amazing to watch people react to them. Okay, that's only our second Japanese pressing of the night that has not got a bid. Rat and Elvis, what a combo. We're waiting for Greg to let me know which King Crimson he wants, and then we also need to see which one Stereo wants. And we have Nina Hagen, VG Plus 1999. What is this album called? None Sex Monk Rock. None Sex Monk Rock. Nina Hagen, 1982. That is a VG Plus 1999. Greg Rogers wants In the Court of the Crimson King. The one with the face, yes. In the Court of the Crimson King. And then Stereo, you were second. If that's the one you want, it's gone. But if you want Lizard, it's still available. Edward Star Wars on Nina Hagen, and Stereo passes. So he must have wanted In the Court as well. Spencer Davis Group, Give Me Some Lovin'. VG Plus 1999. Hard to find that one in tip-top shape. I've only ever seen one. Terry Reid, Silver White Light. There's been some people waiting on this, I think. VG Plus 14.99. The Most of Terry Reid. That's a Music for Pleasure compilation. Music for Pleasure compilation. Okay, let's put up some new auctions. I'm still trying to do stuff that we don't have either never offered or we don't see as often. And here's a Beatles album I don't recall. And Josh Duvall wants Terry Reid. So our next two Japanese auctions, this is the best of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. The best of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Japanese press. This is a $35 start. Really cool cover. Obi. Near mint. Insert with lyrics. Hold Down, Lucky Man, Carnival, Jerusalem, Peter Gunn, Fanfare, You Still Turn Me On, Trilogy. Good stuff. $35 start for ELP, the best of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. And we have the Beatles, and this is with the Beatles. I don't know, I don't get this one as often. With the Beatles. This is a Japanese press, $55 start. There's the insert. Let's take a look at this. Pristine vinyl. Pristine vinyl. That's on Apple. There's the LP, pristine, near mint quality. And here's the insert. Actually, this is a couple things. There is that, and there's this. Oh, this is just like a photo book. Well, no, it's an insert. But it's mostly photos. Press conference. You could have one of those suits right now, and you could photo match it to one of them wearing it. It would be worth a fortune. That's a $55 start with the Beatles. Wolves Council says he'll take King Crimson Lizard. We'll sell that to Wolves Council, the King Crimson Lizard. Next is Janis Joplin. I've got them old Cosmic Blues again, Mama. VG Plus 24.99. Original label. Original label. The Doobie Brothers Farewell Tour. That is EX 22.99. Petra. Petra is VG Plus 19.99. Petra is VG Plus 19.99. Back to the Street. Simon and Garfunkel, Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme. $14.99. I don't know if this is just not check condition or he forgot to mark it. Well, it's really nice, but I'll say VG Plus EX just to be safe. The Third Rail ID Music. VG Plus $39.99. That's 1967. The Third Rail ID Music. Yellow Epic label. We have McGinnis's Flint. EX $17.99. McGinnis's Flint. Green Capital label. Neil Ford and the Fanatics. I think that's they're in downtown Nashville there, I'm pretty sure. VG copy $14.99 for Neil Ford and the Fanatics. The Who, It's Hard, VG copy $9.99. Tommy James and the Shondells, Crimson and Clover, VG plus $19.99. And Frank Zappa, Chic Your Booty. That is a VG plus $24.99. That is the very first time I've heard you pronounce time correctly, which is time, right? I know how to say it. I mispronounce stuff just to make the show more interesting. Right, Tanner? Sure. Tanner said sure. Wow, Seth showed up, and the first thing he did is to start eating. Oh, my gosh. Okay. I'm going to run through those titles one more time. I'm just going to read the titles. If you want any prices, let me know. We're looking for $35 and $55 starts here. $35 and $55 starts. The Best of Tim Hardin, The Monkees, Harvest, Neil Young, Brewer and Shipley, Robin Trower, Vanilla Fudge, The Ohio Express, Popcorn Blizzard, The Supremes, Eric Clapton Slow Hand, The Pretenders Learning to Crawl, Gandharva, I think that's what that was, The Guess Who, Elvis, Steve Winwood, Spencer Davis Group, Janis Joplin, The Doobies, Petra, Simon and Garfunkel, The Third Rail, McGinnis's Flint, Neil Ford, and the Fanatics. The Who, Crimson and Clover, Tommy James, and Frank Zappa. Okay, first comment was Charlie DeFrank, McGinnis's Flint price. McGinnis's Flint was EX $17.99, Charlie. Rich Group says condition and price of the Doobies. The Doobie Brothers Farewell Tour is EX $22.99. What was the Duran Japanese press? Give me 1 second on that, Brad. I'll put it up next. Best on Doobies. I'm going to keep this a sticker price right now. Edward wants TJ. That's Tommy James. RJ Myers price on Eric Clapton. That was a VG copy for $14.99. It is a VG though. Randall Lester takes Petra. Randall Lester takes Petra. What was the Robin Trower? It was Victims of Fury. Victims of the Fury, Justin. Randy Scarborough, you were second to Tommy James. Floyd wants to know the price on Vanilla Fudge. It was a little further back, I think. Vanilla Fudge near the beginning. EX $17.99 was Spencer Davis VG Plus and price. Debbie, it was a VG Plus $19.99. Tim Holloway, how much was the Elvis? It was $39.99. Elvis back in Memphis, original orange label, VG Plus cover, really clean vinyl, $39.99. Charlie DeFrank said sold, and that was on McGinnis's Flint. So out of all that, that's the second claim, or technically the third. Tommy James, Petra, and McGinnis's Flint is sold to Charlie DeFrank. Is the Guess Who a best of or a studio? Well, it's a, first of all, you need to know it's a Pickwick, which is usually a compilation, and Pickwick was famous for using the worst vinyl ever. But this one don't look too bad. Some of them are really bad looking. They look like they're used tires or something. This is the Guess Who Wild One. Wild One, Baby Feeling. That's all studio stuff. It's some kind of compilation. I don't really know a lot about it. But yeah, Pickwick don't have a bad, or doesn't have a good reputation. Okay, next was Michael Swanger on how much and condition of Eric Clapton Harvest. Eric Clapton was a VG copy, $14.99, and I think so was Harvest. It was also a VG $14.99. It has some cover wear, heavy cover wear at the top. Okay, next was Tracy Tallman. Elvis was EX $39.99. Sherry Darnell was the next claim. She takes Janis Joplin. RJ Myers passed on Clapton. Clay Moore said he will take the Doobie Brothers if Richard passes, and Richard says he'll take it. So the Doobie Brothers goes to Richard Group. That goes to Rich Group. Debbie said sold, and that was on Spencer Davis Group. Justin said Robin Trower for $15. Whew, you're making it tough. I just told Clay no discounts. That puts me in a bad situation. Justin, that is EX $17.99. I'll have to leave it for that right now. And Wolves Council says he'll pass. Okay, well, we sold most of that crate going through it a second time. Let me end these auctions and let me put up some new stuff. So if anybody wants Emerson, Lake and Palmer, It's a $35 buy it now. That's a $35 buy it now. The best of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. And we have, with the Beatles, Japanese press with inserts. That's a $55 buy it now. $55 buy it now on that. All right. So Justin, here's what I'll say. If you want Robin Trower, I'll sell it to you for $17.99. If you want to wait later, maybe near the end of the show, I may go back through some of these and discount them again. And you might can save a few bucks, but it's up to you. Or we might sell it here in a minute for sticker price. So it's up to you, though. I'll have to stay at sticker price on the new arrivals for tonight to keep it consistent. Jared says he'll take Harvest if Michael passes. Michael Swanger, let me know if you want Neil Young Harvest, because if you're passing, then we're going to give that to Jared Koski. And then both of our Japanese presses sold for buy it nows. Edward got Emerson, Lake and Palmer for $35, and Tom Ulanowski on the Beatles. I missed a no discount, so that's okay. Somebody asked best price on the Doobie Brothers, and then right after that somebody asked about it, and I was like, well, we'll keep these sticker price. So like I said, if you want it, or a little bit later in the show, I might flip through everything that's left, and some things I may discount, some things I may not, but everything's selling pretty well right now. So I got all those condensed. All right, there's one thing I need to update everybody on. I know we're going to sell. I actually got to pull a couple copies out right now because we had some people comment or message the page. Steve Botsford, somebody already claimed Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Edward was first on that. Edward was first. Okay, so I pulled out the 50 copies that I told y'all we would put on eBay, which we're selling these on eBay consistently between 70 and 80. I have them listed on eBay for $89.99, and I don't know if y'all know how eBay works, but when you watch something, if somebody watches an item, the seller, my end, I have the opportunity to like message them with a direct offer. And so when a new person watches this, which right now it has like 36 watchers, when a new person watches it, I can send them an offer for $80. And I have sold several for $80. Some people's offered $70, $72, and I've sold some for that. So this is what I have left. This is what I have left that I'm willing to sell for $39.99. The other ones, it makes sense for me to put some back because I still have plenty. I've sold over 200 already. And the other ones I'm going to sell for 70 or 80, and they may go up. So this is what I have left for $39.99. And then after we sell out of them here, they're no longer going to be $39.99. Unless, for some reason, I just start having a really hard time selling them on eBay for more than 60, which I don't feel like I'm going to, then I'll bring some more out and sell them for $39.99. But this is like what I have left that I'm willing to sell for $39.99. So, the other ones, I think y'all would agree with me. It would make sense if I can sell them for $80 to sell them for $80. But to y'all, they're $39.99 until these are gone. And that would be $250 I've sold to our CollectCo customers. And I hope we get our full allocation. I have 300 copies of Dirty, Rotten, Filthy, Stinking Rich ordered, which will be here the first week in January. If you're not on that pre-order, we will post the link. Don Unstad wants one. Brandon Jackson wants one. Alex Roman wants one. Danny Biza wants one. Bubby Mercer wants one. And I need to pull, how many was that? 1, 2, that was 5. There's number 5. Eddie Bruce, he messaged me. He needs 3. Eddie Bruce needs 3. So he won't be in the comments there, Tanner, but he does need 3. So there's his 3. Brian Brickle wants 1. He may be a new buyer. So Brian, you need to message our page, please. Message the CollectCo page. That's the page you're watching this feed on, with your email address and your mailing address. We will send you an invoice on Monday. We will send you an invoice on Monday. In the meantime, we're going to be live tonight till probably midnight, between 11 and midnight, depending on how many people's watching. We're going to be live tomorrow from 7 to midnight. and then Saturday from 7 to midnight. In between there, we may take a short break, but you can come back and you can buy anything you want for $7 shipping. They press 2,000 of them. So this is the limited. People keep asking us what color it is, which I really don't. I know they pressed a red one a few years ago, which are like over $100 right now, I'm pretty sure, even with these out in circulation. But a lot of people keep asking us what color. They pressed this only on one color recently, and that is the silver and black marbled colored vinyl. There was 2,000 pressed, and I was thinking we would get like 5 or 10 of them. But I put in my order immediately. We have some people drop us information whenever this stuff is announced, and I was able to get a bunch of them. So Eddie Bruce wants 3 of them. Eddie Bruce from Georgia. So Brian, I think I've pulled yours out. I can't remember. Let's see here. Let me count through these again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 was, yeah, Brian. But yeah, I didn't have his pulled out yet. Okay, so there is. He just emailed us too. So there's Brian's. Stereo wants 3. 1, 2, 3 for stereo, and there's one for C. William Pop. C. William Pop. There's one. And Randy Scarborough says, I'll take another one. So yeah, this is what's left of my 39. Now in my office, I've got an entire crate that is designated for eBay stock. We got, I think, 1 or 2 we got to ship out right now that I sold for $80. So, oh yeah. Yeah, we do have a couple. These will be the last ones we ever sell, but I have some where they messed up there's 2 in here without a hype sticker. I don't know if anybody wants that one. So there's that one. There's 2 in here without a hype sticker. Let me see if yeah, right here. These don't have, I don't know if anybody wants an oddity. Their numbers 1201 and 1280. No hype stickers on this one, and this one's technically an error. The machine missed the entire album. So it's kind of messed up looking. But those will be the last 3 I sell. The rest of them are all pristine, mint, 1325. We got a couple low numbers, but we've already sold those. Or I think I got them stashed away. I got some really low numbers, like I think we got a 27 left, or no, I can't remember. No, that's the one Tanner says we sold already. We had 2020. Yeah, we got some stuff like 2020, 1990, or maybe. That's right. We had
2,000.
2,000. Yeah, we had 2,000. Thank you, Tanner. I was about to say they didn't make 2020 of them. Let's see here. Bubby says, "Can I get the one with no hype sticker?" He wants the one. Trade. Make sure he gets tagged with one without the hype sticker. You can bring one back with. Do you still have any Rush? Do you still have any Rush moving pictures? Price, please. My OG from the 80s. I do. I have those. Let's see. Rush moving pictures is. Let's see. Let's see. Let me find that. There's a crate over here missing. I don't know what's happened to it. Let me just check the Rush bin. There may be somebody else want one of those. Let me grab a couple of them. Hey, we do. I thought I had a whole bin full of them, but maybe they're starting to sell fast, which makes sense. It's Rush moving pictures. Okay, so is 1977 available? I really don't. I've told people, when I tell people we have certain numbers, they start asking. I'm like, we can't flip through 200 of them. Eric, these are all from the most of the ones that we have they're grouped together. These are all 1200s and something. These are all 1261. I think, no, I know which one we had. We did have 1990 because that was the year the album came out. That's why I kept that one. Yeah. Yeah, we had 19. Yeah, we had some birth years, but I think we've already distributed all those. These are all from the 1200s, Eric. I try not to tell people they can request years because then it could get chaotic for us. Oh my gosh, could you imagine trying to hunt numbers and then everybody wanting a certain number? So, all right. We have Rush moving pictures, $36.99. I've got multiple copies, but I know for sure I've got those two. $36.99. Throw an REM out of time for me as well. C. William Pop wants an REM Out of Time, and those were $36.99. I have about 2, 4, 6, 8. I got 8 left if anybody else wants one. REM Out of Time. Okay, so warrants are done. That's what I have left, so we still have some more. I'll show them again tomorrow. I'll show them again Saturday, and they'll probably be gone by then. If I have some by the end of the week, I'll be surprised. And we got to put out more here in the store because the ones we put out in the store are gone again. Wolves Council says, hit me with a rush. I won't literally hit you with it, but I will tag your name on it with a sticky note. And then you'll pay me for it, and then we'll ship it to you. That's so to you. If anybody, this is the 180 gram DMM. So, Chad, I passed on Harvest so Jared could have it. Yes, we got Jared down for that. Okay, there's a couple restocks. We've got a couple restocks here. We've got 50 outer sleeves from MoFi, 4 mil. 4 mil. These are outer sleeves. Super high quality, very thick. $24.99. $24.99. 4 mil is a very high grade thick sleeve. If you buy vintage stuff from us, those are normally 2 mil. We sell some 3 mil Big Fudge. 2, 3, 4. But most of them are, we don't really ever have 4 mil. There's 4 more cherry pies. 4 more cherry pies for Bill Fratsky. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more cherry pies going to Bill. Bill, how many have you bought now? 12? You bought a bunch of them. Okay, so those are 4 mil. Regina, we still have Elvis. Robert Plant, this came back in stock and only was able to secure 1 copy. I've got Robert Plant, Lullaby, and the Ceaseless... Let me restart. Lullaby and the Ceaseless Roar. Boy, that's tough. Ceaseless Roar. If you start trying to say it slowly. $36.99. I've never had that one before. $36.99. Regina, we still have the Elvis. Mark Barbosa wants an Out of Time. That's REM, Out of Time. We're going to tag that for Mark Barbosa. I have now 7 left. Jesse Hood says 1 cherry buy. Do I have 12? 12. No, all the numbers in here are just random 1200s. Unless you have a family member born in like 1330. That's all I can give you. Who was born in 1330? King Edward II? All right, that is so to Jesse Hood. Next was, I used the crystal clear version on the MoFi sleeves. Yeah, I like these too. I put some of my best records in that. Eric Beck wants a Rob Zombie Hellbelly Deluxe. We got those. Let's tag one of those for Eric Beck. Let's see. Everything I tell someone I can get them, they want more. Good deal. Well, thanks for distributing those for us. Yeah, $39.99 is a great price. If you don't think so, just check eBay. REM, please. Belinda wants REM. Any Judas Priest. I don't think... About the only Judas Priest album we have right now is Ram It Down. Regina says she'll take Elvis. All right, let me find that. So, and then before that, Tony Murphy wants Robert Plant. I didn't pull that. Tony, so do you. There's a couple people when I see stuff like this that I think will probably order, and you were one of it. You were one of them. I don't have that myself, so I hope they ship more, but I have 10 back ordered. Only got 1. From Analog Productions, Steppenwolf, Gold, their greatest hits. That is $49.99. $49.99. This is the 2LP, 45 RPM, Steppenwolf Gold. Those are all from the original master tapes. Regina says, take Elvis. That was in the last vintage bin. That was an OG press of Elvis's back, and we're going to sell it to Regina. Steppenwolf Gold. So Analog Productions is an audiophile record. Very nice, though. And what's amazing is you don't see a lot of comps cut from the master tapes because, you know, they may have had to pick and choose and when they made the comp originally. I forgot what he said on this one, how they acquired to get the tapes from that, but very good. Okay, Angel Witch, new release from Music on Vinyl. Limited edition of 1,000 on individual numbered copies on Black Clouds colored vinyl. Angel Witch. We got number 144 and 159. That is $38.99. Regina said no, she wanted the Japanese press. Okay, she wanted the Japanese press. Sorry. That's $45. Sell that to Regina. Not Elvis is back. John Mincemoyer wants Angel Witch. That's a new release for Music on Vinyl, which I think is technically what, metal thrash. It definitely looks like it. Yeah, I think that's the category that falls under. Okay, so this is still available if anybody wants it. LSP catalog number 4429. Really nice condition. First press of that. That is $39.99. New wave of British heavy metal. Avatar soundtrack. This is $44.99. Also from Music on Vinyl at the movies. Avatar, music from the motion picture. Music composed and conducted by James Horner. Includes 6-page book. Avatar, music from the motion picture. I guess they got a new one of those coming out. $44.99. And Manowar, Fighting the World, limited edition, 1,500 individually numbered copies on yellow flame-colored vinyl. This is Fighting the World, Manowar. That is $38.99. I think there was a pre-order for that. See, we've done Kiss Alive, we've done Earth, Wind, and Fire, we've done Def Leppard Hysteria, Slipknot Iowa, Now Yearbook, Creed, Troy Robinson, Your John Legend came in, Eric Fisher's Incubus, REM Out of Time, REM Green, Plant and Krause, Manowar, Richard Davis. I put David on that. We need to make sure that goes in as Davis. Richard Davis on Manowar, and Eric Beck. And John Mincemoyer wants one of those as well. He got Angel Witch and Manowar. Yeah, anytime there's a new metal album out for Music on Vinyl, I always order it. At least 2 of them. Sometimes I post a pre-order. They've got there's a couple new announcements I got to post. So, okay, Grateful Dead. This is Dick's Picks, number 33, new. This is October 9th and October 10, 9, and 1076. So that's October, that's confusing. 10, 9, and 1076. Are those dates? Oakland, so 10, 9, and 1076. Is that 1976? This is, by the way, this is $289.99. 1976, but what is 10, 9? Or am I just having a brain fart right now? October 9th and 10, 1976. Okay, October 10. It's funny how they wrote that, though. 10 and 9 and 1076. That's so. 8 LP set, the Dead's legendary 1976 Day on the Green shows, mastered from the original soundboard tapes by Jeffrey Norman and Mockingbird Mastering. Lacquers cut by Clint Hawley and Dave Polster at Well Made Music. Never before on LP with 4-page booklet. That is the newest Grateful Dead's Dick's Picks. That's number 33. 10, 9, and 1076. That's just confusing the way they wrote that, though. That's $289.99. That is 9 and 1076. Boy, isn't that just weird, though, how they wrote it? I don't know. Like I said, I could be having just a mental breakdown. And I got a restock of the Neil Young Harvest box set. This is mine. Once again, if nobody buys it, that's how I do box sets. I always keep one in stock. If no one buys it for several months, then I keep it. I may actually open in this one and do an unboxing video because I really want to hear some of the stuff that's in here. $159.99. That's the 50th anniversary of Harvest. That was a goofy way to write the date out. I think that's the strangest way. 10/9 and 1076. That don't make any sense to me. It should be, yeah, that's extremely weird. So, extremely weird. Okay. All right, let's go through that. So the only thing in here is the archival sleeves from MoFi, $24.99. We have Steppenwolf Gold, $49.99. We have 1 copy of Angel Witch left. We got 2 copies of the Avatar soundtrack, 1 copy of Manowar, Grateful Dead, and Neil Young Harvest. Those are all still available. All right, let's do the next crate of vintage. We'll probably pause at 9:15 just because we have more new vinyl to get ready during the break. I got 3 crates of new vinyl to price during the break, and then we'll come back, we'll show that, and we'll continue showing new arrivals. We had so much to go through, I knew we wouldn't go through it all, and we'll have another big show tomorrow and another big show on Saturday. All new arrivals. So the rest of tonight and part 2 and all night tomorrow and all night Saturday will probably be all new arrivals. Are the Smashing Pumpkin Siamese Dream on this Monday's invoice? Those won't be invoiced until this upcoming Monday. All right, the Melodic Stan Getz. That is $14.99 in shrink wrap. We have the Best of the Gold, Volume 8, the original hits by the original artist, the 60s. That is $9.99. At Home with the Other Family. Boy, what a weird cover. It's got Khrushchev on it and looks like a Russian astronaut. This is $9.99. What is this? The Tour of the Kremlin. Knock, knock. This has got my interest. It was meant to evoke laughter about people, places, and things. Some kind of comedy, maybe a Russian comedy album. I don't know. Carpenters, A Kind of Hush, $9.99, and 123 Red Light 1910 Fruit Gum. Jared, you have missed cherry pie, but I will show them again. They are $39.99. It looks like I'm down to the copies that I'm going to sell for $39.99. It looks like I'm down to about 15 of them. They are $39.99. You can buy one if you want one. Jared, your last name is pronounced Catator. Maybe. He said he'll take one. How do you say it? Let's see. That's Catatori. Is that Italian? The Foundations, Baby, Now That I've Found You, $19.99. Cacciatore. Wow. All right. I'll take it. Cacciatore. Has he bought from us before? Okay. We need you to message our page. We've had several new buyers again tonight, mostly because of warrant. That's another reason I love having warrants in stock, because we get lots of new customers. Jared, please message our page. I may end up calling you Jared C. if I can't remember Cacciatore. But please message our page with your email address and your mailing address. We will send you an invoice on Monday. George Buchanan wants the Harvest box set, unless you can order one so you can have this one. No, that's okay. I would normally ask you, could I open it for my YouTube video, but I don't want to open a box set, because I know that's the fun of buying a box set, is opening it and seeing all the stuff. But I will get another one. I meant to order 2, but we have so many box sets right now I need to sell. All right, $159.99 on that. How much are non-hot versions? Those are still $39.99. Those are, I don't think I'll ever sell one less than $39.99. I've purchased a few in the past. Okay, thank you. Steve Howe wants a warrant. I just open this one and order one for me. Okay, I can do that. I'll make sure they're in stock, though. So still put him down for that, and I'll make sure I can have one in stock tonight. So this is sold to Steve Howe. Now we're getting low stock warning. Those few sales right there, I'm getting like low stock warnings on them. Okay. So where did I get to? Did somebody ask about something here? How much was 1920? The 1910. The 1910 fruit gum was 123 Red Light. That was $19.99. I may have skipped that one. Really nice copy of this one. I think we had a check condition copy earlier. That one was nice. Okay. Somewhere There's a Someone. Dean Martin, $9.99. Nat King Cole, Wild is Love, $9.99. Bing Crosby, legendary performer. That is $9.99. Nat King Cole, Stay As Sweet As You Are. That is sealed, $14.99. And the Beatles. What an interesting looking white album. The cover looks like it's not stained, is it? It looks like it's some kind of different material. This is a 1978 purple Capitol label with poster and all 4 photos, $59.99. Now, some of the Beatle fanatics on here may agree the purple Capitol labels are some of the best sounding cuts of Beatles albums. So, not just because it's an Apple First Press, don't let that take away. Plus, this has the poster and all 4 inserts. But that is a weird shade of, I don't know if that's toning or just a different material they used. So, okay, Tom Ulanowski says he'll take it. That was 1910 Fruit Gun Company. Howard Benway wants a warrant. I wasn't going to run any more auctions because we was going to stop at 9:30, and I didn't want to run over. I didn't want to run over our time and have an auction active. So no more auctions until part 2. I did tell, let me show something though for Brad Bullen. Are you still watching? You should have reminded me if you are. I forgot to show you the Duran Duran. The Duran Duran. Well, there's some good stuff. We're going to have some great auctions for part 2. But there's the Duran Duran, and I think I have more of these. It's $39.99. If Brad's still watching, I will say he can buy it because I totally forgot about his request, because I think I have more of those, just so there may be more than one person wanting it. So, okay, Alan Jonathan, what Nat King Cole did you want? I've got Stay As Sweet As You Are, which is sealed. That's a Pickwick record. And then I have Wild As Love as well. Leon Everett, Hurricane. That is sealed from 1981. That is $19.99. And then Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits Volume 2, $39.99. Greatest Hits Volume 2, Bob Dylan, 2 LP, $39.99. The sealed one is $14.99. Yes, the open one was $9.99. Brewer and Shipley, hey, there's the album with One Toke Over the Line. First track, $19.99. They were on a label known as Karma Sutra. Show the Aerosmith, okay. Alan Johnson takes the Nat King Cole that was sealed. And the Aerosmith. So here's some auctions coming up for part 2. We still got Led Zeppelin, Prince, Bob Dylan, Marshall Tucker, Wham, Blues Brothers, Clapton, Earth, Wind & Fire, Bee Gees, Nina, Phil Collins, Whitney Houston, Toto, CCR, Willie Nelson, Eagles, John Lennon, Jeff Beck, Bruce Springsteen, Huey Lewis, Hart, The Band, Queen, Aerosmith, and Toto. Here is the Aerosmith. There's the Aerosmith. Not in the ruts. Not in the ruts. If we need to run that one, it'll be during part 2. So if anybody wants to buy Duran Duran, $39.99. $39.99 on this one. Near mint Japanese pressing. All right. We have Lefty Frizzell's Story. Never seen that. What an interesting cover. It's sealed from 1980, $24.99. Supertramp, Breakfast in America. That's $19.99. No One Cares, Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra, $14.99. I think this is from, nope. I thought that was Fred had wrote his name on it, but he didn't. Nice copy. Sinatra, No One Cares, $14.99. Johnny Rivers, Not a Through Street. Is that the actual name of the album? Yeah, Not a Through Street. $9.99. Johnny Rivers' Greatest Hits, $12.99. That's pretty cool. George Jones' Country Heart, 24 Favorite Songs, is $19.99. Wham! Wake Me Up Before You Go Go, 12-inch single, $14.99. Uh-oh, where's Carlene at? Wake Me Up Before You Go Go, 45 RPM, 12-inch single. Ian Dury, Lloyd Upminster, is $14.99. Gary and the Pacemakers, Ferry Cross the Mercy, that is $14.99. The Green Tambourine, the Lemon Pipers, $24.99. The Lemon Pipers, nice. Nice copy. The cover has some, looks like staple punch holes there, some sticker residue. VG on the cover. Rich Hopkins says he'll take the Duran Duran. That's $39.99 on that one. Carlene takes Wham, as expected. She has quite the impressive Wham George Michael collection. Dallas, The Music Story. from the TV show. I've never seen one with the hype sticker. It says, contains the hit single, Making Up for Lost Time with Crystal Gayle and Gary Morris. Also includes songs by Howard Keel, the Forces Sisters, Steve Conley, and Johnny Lee. $14.99. Dallas. Good call on the Neil Young. It's first class. Courtesy Crosby, Stills, back up on Studio Alabama. Wow. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the BBC sessions and watching the film. Is the movie on there? Is that the movie? Is that the footage where he's in the record store talking about the bootlegs? Is that what he finally released? They were making a movie back around that time where, you know, he goes in that record store and he finds those bootlegs and he gets mad. Or not mad, but he walks up to the shop owner and says he's taking them. It's just a kid that's working there. Todd Rundgren, Initiation, is $19.99. Christmas box music. Christmas box music, $7.99. So they took a Christmas box and put it to vinyl, $7.99 in shrink wrap. Regina, You Were Second to Dallas. Uriah Heep, Sweet Freedom, $19.99. Around, Grapefruit. Well, what an interesting cover. That is, wow, it's $99.99. It's from 1969. Must be a good one. Yeah, that's an awesome video of Neil Young. I like it because I pause it and try to see all the records in the bins and who got Dallas. Stacy, you got Dallas. Regina was second. That's $99.99. Around, Grapefruit. I know who this is. This is, it's not Humble Pie, is it? Mott the Hoople. $39.99. Definitely nothing on the cover there. Mad Shadows, Mott the Hoople. That is $39.99. Wow, Mark was all over that. Or maybe, wait a second. Make sure you're actually buying it. If anybody wants it, say Mott sold. Any Trouble is $9.99. Otherwise, I'll think you're buying it or you're claiming it. Gene McDaniels, Hit After Hit, is $9.99. Gene McDaniels. Simon and Garfunkel's Greatest Hits. That's $14.99. McGowan, Clark, and Hillman, also known as former members of the Byrds, $14.99. America's Roots Musical is $19.99. And we have Dennis Yost and the Classic Four, $14.99. Paul Simon in concert, live Ryman, Paul Simon, $19.99. McGuinn. Really? Uriah Heep, Wonder World is $19.99. And the soundtrack from Burt Reynolds' Sharky's Machine, $19.99. Marx's Condition of Mott. Mott the Hoople was, we don't have any condition notes on it. He's really. We got some, what I call sleeve scuffs, like right here. And side one is really clean. It looks like a scuff right here. That's it. $69.99 on Grapefruit. John, I told everybody, first go around on these, sticker price. I've already declined a couple offers already tonight. Late during part 2, when I go back through all this a second time, we can talk. Don McLean, Homeless Brother, is $9.99. The Bellamy Brothers, Two and Only, $9.99. And Bartford, that's it. That one got me choked up. Batdorf and Rodney, wow. Off the Shelf, $19.99. Man, I'm allergic to Batdorf. That is $19.99. The Buddy Holly Story soundtrack is $19.99. And Star Trek, I've never seen this one. 4 exciting new action adventures on the Peter Pan, $24.99. All right, before anybody starts hopping off, let me remind everybody, we're about to start in about 60 seconds. I'm going to take a break and go find some food and some energy drinks. We will be back at 10 o'clock. So I've got 4 crates of vintage new arrivals that have not been shown. Or are those from the back too? I mean, 1, 2, 5. No, I've got 6 more crates of new arrivals, vintage new arrivals. If we can get them priced, 3 crates of new, and I have a whole entire box of amazing 45s. An entire box full. The Wonderful World of Reckless Eric, that was $29.99. That's on green vinyl. It's a UK pressing. What was the price on Man of War and Angel Rich? $38.99. Those are new releases for music on vinyl. Texas Tornadoes, Mickey Gilley, Willie Nelson, and Johnny Lee. I've never seen that before. $14.99. Razzie Arrival, that's Razzie Bailey. That is sealed, $14.99. George Jones sings Hank Williams. That's $9.99. The Best of the Carter Family is $9.99. Buck Owens, Before You Go, No One But You. Buck Owens. Where's Jeff and Tommy at? George Jones, Old Bush Arbors is $9.99. Brush Arbors. Old Brush Arbors. That's $9.99. Nice and Easy, Frank Sinatra, $14.99. Jones, Brown, and Smith. That's $19.99. Jones, Brown, and Smith. Jazz. Tom Jones, Live at Caesar's Palace is $14.99. Pat Metheny, 8081, $24.99. Ben Dover and Tennessee Tucker. Wow, what a name. That is $19.99. I thought that was only a joke used in Chris Farley movies. Carpetbaggers, Ben Dover and Tennessee Tucker, $19.99. Unbelievable. Checkmate. This is a Buddha compilation. The Lemon Pipers, 1910 Fruit Gum Company. One side's the Lemon Pipers, one side's 1910 Fruit Gum. Green Tambourine and Simon Says. That is $14.99. Checkmate. That's pretty cool. Checkmate. And the last 2 records are John Fred, Love My Soul, $14.99, and Where Are You, Frank Sinatra. Okay, I'll go back through that bin a second time when we come back. Then I've got new arrivals, and I've got new vinyl to price. That's really why I would take a break. We have a lot of people watching for me to take a break, but I have new vinyl we got to get priced so we can get pre-order tagged, and so I can show it to y'all, so you can also know what came in for your invoices. If you can't come back, we're going to be live again tomorrow night at 7 and Saturday night. I hope you come back. Set a reminder. You should get a notification when we go live, but please make sure you come back, because otherwise you're going to miss out on stuff, and then you're going to lose sleep, and then you're going to have a terrible day tomorrow. So that means you need to watch and come back. Okay, we'll be back in approximately 30 minutes, which means like 10:05.